90 FM.
Projects start right. Start here at H&L Rapid True Value for plumbing supplies. The time by H&L Rapid True Value is
nationwide time 5 o'clock.
From the Nationwide News Network, comprehensive, incisive, tough. This is Nationwide at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Robianne Williams.
In Nationwide News at this hour, the embattled principal of St. James High School, Joseph Williams, is dismissing claims that he expelled 2 female students seen kissing in a video without due process.
No students were expelled. What you going to punish them for? Look from when that what you going to punish them for?
And Principal Williams says criticism by former and current school board chairman are attempts to shake him down.
Dictatorship, they don't know their role. I am the CEO and the board and the principal of the school. They want to micromanage.
King's Counsel Michael Hilton recommends several changes to the Constitution, including reducing the powers of the Prime Minister.
Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the industry has continued its upward growth in 2024.
The net international reserves hit a record of more than $5 billion.
In news from the rest of the world, U.S. condemns Cuba for repression of protesters.
Israel's Prime Minister is vowing to invade Rafah despite growing international opposition.
In headline sports, Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark schedules meeting with stakeholders in local racing industry in light of recent developments at Caymanas Park.
And later in our broadcast, in our cover story at 5:35, the embattled principal of St. James, Joseph Williams, is refuting claims that 2 girls were expelled after they were seen kissing each other.
I know it's a plan, it's a setup by the chairman and his team because no students were expelled. I'm here over 20 years. I've not expelled any students over more than 14 years.
You'll hear more from our exclusive interview with Mr. Williams.
In Public Opinion at 6:26, we ask, should the driver's license of a motorist with over 20 outstanding traffic tickets be automatically suspended? Give us your comments by logging on to our Facebook page, Nationwide News Network, and by tweeting us at Nationwide Radio, and message us on WhatsApp at 876-285-5693. You can also leave your comments on Instagram at Nationwide 90 FM.
In the nation's business at 6:40, the most recent Donna Anderson poll commissioned by the PNP shows that the party has an almost 8 percentage point lead over the governing JLP. The CEO of Market Research Services Limited, Don Anderson, will join us.
From 7 to 8, it's Nature's Remedies with Dr. Denise Daly. Tonight we'll be looking at Moringa, nature's multi-nutrient plant.
And at 8 this evening, it's Prescription for Life with Dr. Andre MacDonald.
And at 9 p.m., it's Affairs of the Heart with Rodney Campbell. Tonight's topic, is good sex overrated in long-term relationships?
All these and more as we take you home on air, on your mobile, Nationwide 90 FM, Nationwide Radio, JM.com, and on the Nationwide app available in Google Play and the App Store. This Tuesday afternoon, it's Tuesday, April 30, 2024.
News at 5 is brought to you by KFC Hot Wings. Available in hot and spicy barbecue. KFC Hot Wings, a wing for the win. KFC is finger licking good.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The embattled principal of St. James High School, Joseph Williams, has broken his silence. He's dismissing claims that the female students who were seen kissing in a short video were expelled from the school. Mr. Williams finally spoke after several days of backlash for his handling of the matter after one mother told the media that her daughter was expelled without due process. Shaloy Smeichel reports.
The girls were reportedly expelled in January after a 2-second video of them kissing was posted on one of the girls' WhatsApp status. The video was reportedly shared with Principal Williams. He told their mothers to find another school for them as there was no longer a place for them at St. James High School. The mother of one of the girls, a 16-year-old, told Nationwide News that she'd been facing difficulties enrolling her child in another school due to a lack of support and documentation from Mr. Williams and the Ministry of Education's regional office. The child was placed in a private institution on April 15, 3 months later, only after the matter was blown up in the media. The expulsion of the girls has since triggered a formal investigation by the Ministry of Education and the board of St. James High School. Several stakeholders, including Jamaicans for Justice, the Jamaica Teachers Association, and the LGBTQ+ rights organization Equality for All Foundation, have also spoken out against the expulsion of the girls. But Mr. Williams is painting a different picture. In an interview with Nationwide News on Monday, Mr. Williams said the girls in question were never formally disciplined over the incident. He insists that the girls had not been expelled. Instead, he says the idea of a transfer came out of an abundance of caution to protect the girls from being taunted at school.
No students were expelled. What you going to punish them for? Look from when that happened. What you going to punish them for? 6 of us came into the office. The 2 girls, the 2 mothers, the dean of discipline and myself. As they reported to me, the dean, they were very concerned because this was done from November. In January, the video was out, it was circulating in the school. I said, no, we have to separate you. We have to find another school because the thing is out and everybody now pointing on you and vilifying you. And the mother hold her and said, well, me I go find school for you now and she are going to need paperwork. I said, if that is the case, you don't have no problem. We will still do the paperwork.
The mother who spoke to the media initially explained that there was no formal documentation from the principal to help find another school. But Mr. Williams is also denying this claim.
They have not returned. When I saw our original girl, she was dressed up in jeans. And asked my girl what happened. And she said, sir, may I go to Harrison? I come for you fill out this form. I said, go over to the office next door. And they did whatever. And then she took it to the dean. And we spoke and she left. And when I saw what in the newspaper that this mother saying that recounting conversation with the principal, we didn't have any conversation with the 2 of us.
The matter is still being investigated by the board of St. James High. Shaloy Smichael for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Mr. Williams has hit back at former and current chairman of the school board. 4 former chairmen of St. James High have described his leadership as dictatorial and poor. The men spoke out following reports of Principal Williams' expulsions of the 2 female students. Mahiri Stewart has that side of the story.
4 former chairmen, along with the current chairman of the school board, Christopher McCurdy, says Mr. Williams repeatedly avoided the Ministry of Education's code of conduct when disciplining students. The former chairman also painted a picture of dysfunction and intimidation by Mr. Williams, spanning several years. But Mr. Williams described the collective views of the men as an attempt to shake him down.
Dictatorship, they don't know their role. I am the CEO and the board and the principal of the school. They want to micromanage. The chairman, you chair the board and you deal with policies. You are not responsible for the day-to-day running of the school, per se. He has not board meeting in over 7 months.
Mr. Williams says he will not give in.
They have nothing substantial to say. Everything in place here, he has a problem with, but it's a grudge. Oh, you're not belonging to this party, and okay, we need to get you out, and so forth. I am not a yes man, I'm not a simpleton. This is what, 38 years now in education. I've been principal elsewhere. I've taught at other schools. I'm no raccoon.
The embattled principal says St. James High School has flourished under his leadership.
All the others have said that they never even used to look up here when it was senior school, when you had all those murders and so forth, where the school was terrible. 57% of the students passed mathematics last year. The school is, 62 years old. First time in the history of the school. It's going to get better, even when I'm gone.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
And the Jamaica Teachers Association, the JTA, says it's investigating the concerns generated by the actions of Mr. Williams. JTA President Leighton Johnson says they have taken note of the allegations regarding the unilateral actions taken by the principal without the approval of the board.
We have taken active interest. We are gathering all the information as best as possible before making that comprehensive comment. But what I would do and what I can say is that right across the board, we will continue to encourage our administrators that once you are dispelling any form of discipline within your school, it must be done within the confines and the ambits of the prescribed law that has been established.
Leighton Johnson, the president of the JTA, and the president of the Jamaica Association of Chairmen of Secondary Institutions, Courtney Winter, says he's been in contact with the current chairman, Mr. McCurdy.
I've had word with Mr. McCurdy and offer some support. What I will say at this point is that Mr. McCurdy, I think, has had the support of the association, and he had a meeting last Thursday. The result of that meeting has not been disclosed. We, as board members and chairmen, always encourage our principals to stick to the policies and the procedures as it is outlined in the reg.
Courtney Winter, president of the Jamaica Association of Chairmen of Secondary Institutions. Both were speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Monday.
King's Counsel Michael Hilton is recommending several changes to the Constitution as Jamaica moves ahead in its efforts to become a republic. Casey Hilton was the keynote speaker at the virtual sitting of the Rotary Club of St. Andrew on Tuesday. Norgay Banton reports.
On Monday, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs Marlene Malahoo Fort disclosed that the Constitutional Reform Committee, CRC, had signed off on a list of recommendations under Phase 1 of the reform program. Those include the abolition of the monarchy, the establishment of the Republic of Jamaica, and the proposed amendments to the deeply entrenched provisions for which a referendum is required. The minister said the report will be presented to Cabinet before being tabled in Parliament and given a national forum for the public to debate it in its entirety. Casey Hilton told the Rotary Club of St. Andrew that there are some proposals that he'd like to see on the list, among them reducing the power of the Prime Minister.
The front pages of both our morning newspapers today indicate a significant development. It appears, I understand, that yesterday, the co-chair of the Constitutional Reform Committee, the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, announced that the committee has completed Phase 1 of its work and will be submitting its report to the Cabinet. The minister did not indicate what the report will say, so unfortunately, we cannot discuss that. I will have to content myself with listing some of the things on my wish list that, in my view, should be among the recommendations, but won't be. And you will see that most of my suggestions are with a view to reducing the power of the Prime Minister.
His list also includes setting fixed election dates and giving the Judicial Services Commission the responsibility of appointing our Chief Justice.
Right now, under our Constitution, the date on which a general election is held, or for that matter, local government, is almost totally in the discretion of the Prime Minister. Understandably, Prime Ministers schedule general elections, fix the date for the time that is most politically advantageous. It seems to me that that is an undesirable situation and a power unnecessarily placed in the hands of one person. Secondly, there should be a change, in my view, so that the Judicial Service Commission, instead of the Prime Minister, decides who should be appointed as the Chief Justice and the President of the Court of Appeal. The Constitution now provides that this commission appoint judges of those courts, with two exceptions. And ironically, the two exceptions are the heads of each court. In my view, this is fundamentally wrong. The appointments to these positions ought not to be in the hands of the political directorate, or worse, in the hands of one person.
According to Casey Hilton, term limits must also be established for prime ministers. He also recommended that direct elections be held for an executive president.
This is perhaps the biggest one because it would require a total overhaul of our system. We don't vote for Prime Minister in Jamaica. The Westminster model is that you vote for your local representative and then the local representatives elect the Prime Minister. But like the Privy Council, some of that is a fiction in that most people, I suspect, vote for the representative who is of the party they would like to see form the government. And citizens and voters are faced with the Hobson's choice, I think, of you may want one party or one person to be Prime Minister, but somebody from the other party to be your representative. You're forced to make that kind of choice in a system that need not have to be structured that way.
Norgay Banton for Nationwide News.
And Casey Hilton is also recommending that both the Electoral and Integrity Commissions should be entrenched in the Constitution.
There's general agreement that these are critical institutions, that they play a very important role in our democracy. And I think it's safe to say that there's even more agreement in relation to the Electoral Commission, that commission in particular has served as a model in other jurisdictions as to a better way to manage one's electoral process. The difficulty is those bodies exist and are governed by ordinary legislation. And that means that the party in government can change their terms, can change their structures, or even repeal them and do away with them altogether. And the only way to avoid that is to give them constitutional status on an entrenched basis. That's something that has been discussed and recommended from time to time before. In my view, this is something that ought to be done.
Another proposal, fixed term be implemented for directors of public prosecutions to prevent an abuse of power.
Finally on my list, provide for fixed terms or fixed retirement days for the DPP with no power to extend, as was done with the judges. The power to extend is a power that, like all powers, may lend itself to abuse. And again, I'm not speaking about any specific case.
Michael Hilton, he was speaking at the Rotary Club of St. Andrew on Tuesday. You're listening to Nationwide News at 5. More news after these.
Value Drug Pharmacy offers curbside pickup and delivery of your branded and generic drugs. WhatsApp your prescription to 876-881-6695. The time by Value Drug Pharmacy is
16 minutes after 5.
Rent-A-Kill Initial offers air purification solutions with triple filtration and unique auto-sensing capabilities that neutralizes malodor and replaces it with clean air. Call Rent-A-Kill Initial at 926-4236 for more details.
The temperature by Rent-A-Kill is
29 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 24 out west in Montego Bay.
Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, is a financial reporting firm that delivers accounting and compliance services on time. Call us today at 876-908-0486-7. Email us at clientservices@cocnjamaica.com or visit our website at www.cocnjamaica.com. COCN, driven by international accounting standards, modern technology and integrity.
Continuing the news, a big political risk. That's how Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs Marlene Malahoo Fort has described the decision regarding which court will serve as Jamaica's final court. Minister Malahoo Fort made the comment during her keynote speech at a European Union project launch put on by Jamaicans for Justice at the Pegasus Hotel in New Kingston on Monday. The decision on Jamaica's final court is to be tackled during the second phase of the constitutional reform process. The minister says the decision has challenged the Constitutional Reform Committee, CRC.
One of the other big challenges in the committee, in addition to the call for greater public education and engagement, is the call for dealing with which final court at the same time as transitioning from the constitutional monarchy to the republic as our form of government. The policy approach of the Wholeness Administration is to do the work in phases. It is a big political risk. I'm not talking about partisan risk.
During his speech at the People's National Party's annual conference last September, opposition leader Mark Golding reiterated his call for the Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, to serve as Jamaica's final court. Minister Malahoo Fort cited Jamaica's experience with a referendum since independence as one of her reasons for labeling the decision as a risk.
I say that because we have not held a referendum in independent Jamaica. And there are many stories about what a referendum really means and the approach. And many are nervous about it. Some are excited about it. Some are saying, what is the monarch doing to Jamaica? After all, they do not interfere in the internal affairs of Jamaica. But we must further the progress on our goals for a truly independent Jamaica.
Marlene Malahoo Fort, Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs.
World in a Minute is brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose Assembly and Supply, equipping Jamaica for success. Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, empowering entrepreneurs for a better future.
The world in a minute.
A Cuban court's decision to hand down lengthy sentences to a group of protesters has been condemned by the U.S. government as repression. 13 protesters were found guilty of crimes, including sedition and sabotage, early this year after they took to the streets in August 2022 to vent their anger at lengthy power cuts. They were sentenced last week to jail terms of up to 15 years. Unauthorized public gatherings are illegal in Cuba, but the dire state of the Cuban economy, which has led to shortages of food, fuel and medicine, as well as power cuts, has angered some citizens, resulting in defiance of the rules governing public gatherings. In July 2021, thousands of disaffected Cubans formed the largest protests to be held on the communist-run island in decades. More than 1,000 were arrested and handed jail sentences. The economy has been spiraling downward, with the government for the first time asking the United Nations Food Programme for help to alleviate shortages.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says Israel will launch an invasion of the southern Gaza city of Rafah regardless of truce talks with Hamas. It comes amid ongoing attempts to try to reach an agreement for a ceasefire and hostage releases. But at a meeting of hostages' relatives, Netanyahu said he would invade with or without a deal. His comments follow renewed warnings by the U.S. against a Rafah invasion unless civilians were properly protected. On Tuesday, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said an assault on Rafah would be an unbearable escalation. More than half of Gaza's 2.5 million population is in Rafah, having fled there to escape fighting in other parts of the territory. Conditions in the overcrowded city are dire, and displaced people have spoken of lack of food, water, and medication. Netanyahu insisted that the war would continue until Israel had achieved all of its objectives in Rafah, including the elimination of Hamas battalions.
World in a Minute was brought to you by ABC Electrical Sales. We make things as easy as ABC. Hose Assembly and Supply, equipping Jamaica for success. Charles O'Connor Consulting Network, COCN, empowering entrepreneurs for a better future.
Recapping the top stories in nationwide news at this hour. The embattled principal of St. James High School, Joseph Williams, has dismissed claims that he expelled 2 female students in kissing in a video without due process.
And Principal Williams says criticism by former and current school board chairman are attempts to shake him down.
I know it's a plan, it's a setup by the chairman and his team, because no students were expelled. I'm here over 20 years. I've not expelled any students over more than 14 years.
King's Counsel Michael Hilton is recommending several changes to the Constitution, including reducing the powers of the Prime Minister.
The Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs, Marlene Malahoo Fort, has described the decision on Jamaica's final court as a big political risk.
I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Robianne Williams.
You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available in Google Play and the App Store. News next, the headlines at 6.
News at 5 was brought to you by KFC Hot Wings. Available in hot and spicy barbecue. KFC Hot Wings, a wing for the win. KFC is finger licking good.
How certain are you that you're taking proper care of your pets? How often do you take them to the vet? Just as we need annual checkups with our doctors, most pets need regular checkups too. Owning and caring for a family pet doesn't have to be a difficult or burdensome experience. Nationwide 90 FM has an exciting feature called Pets World that will help you take better care of your pets. Join Nationwide 90 FM every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning as we take you into the do's and don'ts of caring for your pets. That's Pets World every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. a.m. during the program This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Sports at 5 is brought to you by Total Tools. They almost always have it.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, has scheduled a meeting with stakeholders of the local horse racing industry for Thursday, May 2. The meeting is to discuss recent developments at Caymanas Park. Among those expected to be in attendance at the meeting are jockeys, grooms, trainers, promoters, veterinarians, horse care personnel, commissioners from the Jamaica Racing Commission, and the management of Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment Limited. On Saturday, 2 races were abandoned for breach of Rule 44, which speaks to the enforcement of strict adherence to race start times with a maximum allowance of 5 minutes after published post time. Chairman of SVREL, Solomon Sharp, says he's hoping that matters will be resolved at Thursday's meeting.
There's a lot of issues and been burning issues from the backstretch, so I expect a productive meeting. And if I'm to go by what the junior minister said recently, and if I have to go what the minister continues to say, that Jamaica is open for business and that we have to look at solutions on how to grow these industries. We have done quite a bit and we have grown the business.
Meanwhile, Sharp says the Jamaica Racing Commission is over-regulating and they run the risk of doing more harm than good to the product.
Stop penalizing an industry. You took away earning opportunities from some individuals on Saturday rather because I guess you wanted to punish the promoter. Nobody wins in this scenario, okay? Stop over-regulating and allow the industry to flow. It's quite simple.
Yesterday, head of the Jamaica Racing Commission, Clovis Metcalf, told Nationwide Sports that all stakeholders were either invited to or attended meetings to discuss the amendment to Rule 44. He mentioned Sharp among those who were invited or in attendance, but Sharp says he was never a part of any of those meetings.
Solomon Sharp was not at any of those meetings. So I don't know if he was ill-advised. I don't think he was the one that conducted these meetings. It was conducted by one of the operational stewards based on what my research told me this morning. And Solomon Sharp was not present at any of these rules. I found out a day before, and then it was in the race book. Full stop.
Solomon Sharp speaking to Nationwide Sports a short while ago. West Indies women beat Pakistan by 2 runs to take on unassailable 3-0 lead in their 5-match T20 International Series at the National Stadium in Karachi today. Chasing 133 to win, Pakistan made 130 for 8 of their 20 overs. Sidra Amin top scored. She got 63 from 58 balls. Captain Hayley Matthews and Afi Fletcher bagged 2 wickets apiece. Earlier, the Caribbean women made 132 for 5 of their 20 overs. Matthews led the charge. She got 68 of 49 deliveries and clubbed with 10 fours. She got support from Charmaine Campbell 31, Chedi Nation 10 and Chanel Henry 11 not out. Fatima Sana took 2 wickets for Pakistan. Game 4 in the series will be on Thursday. Brazilian superstar Vinicius Junior scored twice today to hand record champion Real Madrid the advantage heading back home for the second leg of the European Champions League semi-final against Bayern Munich. Vinicius Junior opened and closed the scoring on the night as the teams played out a 2-2 draw at the Allianz in Germany with Leroy Sané and Harry Kane getting Munich's goals.
Slip through towards Vinicius Junior, and that's what they can do to you. Out of nothing, Real Madrid conjure up a magical goal and strike first in the semi-final. Just to get it, Mendy. Zene! Oh, pick that out! Bang! He just changed gear there, and he's changed the whole mood inside this stadium. It's a stunning goal from Leroy Sané. So cool, and nobody has scored more goals in this season's Champions League now than Harry Kane. Nobody has scored more big-time goals in Europe this season than Harry Kane. He came to Bayern Munich last year to score goals and win trophies. He might still do both. The greatest team game on earth becomes an individual contest, which Vinicius Junior wins. Neuer dived. Vinicius Junior's penalty was pretty central, but he was pretty sure that Neuer was on the way. And it's 2-2.
The first leg of the other semi-final will also be played in Germany tomorrow, with Borussia Dortmund facing French champions Paris Saint-Germain. It's now time for the Nationwide Olympic Fact, sponsored by Fontana Pharmacy.
This is Nationwide's Olympic Facts, brought to you by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside.
Did you know that Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce is the first Caribbean woman to win 100 meters gold at the Olympics? Yes, that's a fact. At 21 years old, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce rose from relative obscurity to win gold at the 2008 Beijing Olympics.
That was Nationwide's Olympic Facts, brought to you by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside.
Yeah, we've got this for you every day during the 525 Sports Report, and we can't say it enough. Nationwide 90 FM will have the exclusive radio rights of the Olympic Games, the 33rd Olympiad in the French capital this summer. Nowhere else, as far as the radio is concerned, in Jamaica, but nationwide for the Olympic Games. Make this your Olympic Center. That's sports. We're going to be back with more at 6:05.
Sports at 5 was brought to you by Total Tools. They almost always have it.
Hyundai, the home of modern premium affordable vehicles. Call us at 876-630-1511. The time by Hyundai is
5:30.
You didn't know that the government decreased JUTC bus fares? Yes, it's now 70 for adults, 25 for children, and 30 for pensioners. And in April, fares will go down even further to 50 for adults, 20 for children, and 25 for pensioners.
The temperature by the office of the Prime Minister is
29 degrees Celsius here in the nation's capital, Kingston. It's 26 in the western city, Montego Bay.
Outperform, outlast. With top performance. Jackama. Reliable, full stop, not comma. We have the expertise for drilling and demolition. We have the power tools for plumbers and electricians. Fancy select tools, 3 parts and 3 repairs. 3 parts, 3 repairs. 2 to 3 years. Hilton, available at Delta Supply, 106 Hagley Park Road. Call us at 876-302-61114. Delta Supply, we service what we sell.
Do you owe the NWC? Don't worry. The NWC's Pay and Save program can help you. Yes, you can get a 10 to 20% discount off when you pay balances that are 90 days or older. And if you can't pay everything in full, you can enter into a payment arrangement. Take advantage of this great opportunity by visiting any NWC commercial office island-wide. For more information about the NWC's Pay and Save program, visit nwcjamaica.com or call 888-NWC. Conditions apply.
Building wealth the smart way means you have a clear mission for your money. Specific and measurable means defining the reason for your financial goals. Achievable and realistic means keeping those goals meaningful, yet attainable. Think more retirement, less world's richest. Timely means keeping a time frame in mind so that all efforts remain focused.
Visit barita.com/opportunities for more growth coach insights.
On a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30.
Well, that was in the beginning, when lovers knew and the relationship was filled with fun, frolic and fireworks. Everything went long, the posturepedic journey was flaming hot and the coffee was always steaming. Gym was pumping iron, ladies went to a gym, and home was a place to be instead of the neighborhood. But what about loving in the long term? How much does it matter if the length of love is lasting? Is it really just an overrated part of a relationship if a partner doesn't perform to perfection? Join me, Rodney Campbell, every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. This Tuesday's topic: giving top-tier service in long-term relationships, an obligation to perform or just satisfied with the norm?
Brought to you by Supermed Pharmacy. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
Watch for Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce.
I stay locked to the Olympics because, of course, I'm Jamaican. What you mean? Me, I have to tune into the Olympics, man. Because I'm always busy, but what? I have to know when Sherika Jackson beat Shakari.
Brother, I have to have every notification for the Olympics. I want to hear every run.
Now Sherika Jackson coming up.
Every jump.
Oh, that is absolutely huge of Wayne Pinkham.
Every fling. Live.
So, take us then.
Nothing can miss me.
We're always on the move.
So while we're driving, run, Elaine, run.
Jogging. Yes. win again.
What? And he's now a world champion.
Or even at work.
Quick, the race has started.
We can't miss a beat because we keep it locked
To the only station.
for the Paris Olympics.
Nationwide.
Nationwide. Nationwide.
Nationwide. 90 FM.
Nationwide 90.1, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7 and 90.9, and on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live. Nationwide, the new revolution in media.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us here at Nationwide at 5. It's 5:35. I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Siobhan Campbell.
Good afternoon, Siobhan.
Good afternoon, Sir Hughes.
Well, this issue of what's happening at St. James High School in St. James is taking another turn. The embattled principal, Joseph Williams, has broken his silence. He is dismissing claims that 2 teenage girls were summarily expelled from the school earlier this year after being seen in a 2-second animated graphic kissing each other. The video was reportedly posted to one of the girls' WhatsApp status.
One mother spoke with our news center last week detailing how difficult it was to get her daughter enrolled in another institution. Principal Williams allegedly told the mother that there was no longer a place for her daughter at St. James High after the video was brought to his attention.
The mother said it took the Ministry of Education almost 3 months to help her find another school for her daughter. The mother told us that the ministry went into action only after her daughter's expulsion was blown up on social media.
The dismissal of both girls in the video have caused Mr. Williams to come under fire from the chairman of the school's board, Christopher McCurdy, the Jamaica Teachers Association, as well as at least 2 human rights groups. But in an interview with Nationwide News on Monday, Mr. Williams says the girls were not expelled.
Which is erroneous, and I know it's a plan, it's a setup by the chairman and his team, because no students were expelled. I'm here over 20 years, I've not expelled any students. For the past over more than 14 years, I haven't gone, because I realize what it does. You have what is called www, World Wide Web. Everything goes to the SMS system. So I don't even take students to board to be expelled, because when that happens, it becomes part of their permanent record. Some of them, they have to come back here for recommendation. Some want to join the police force. Some want to go and work program abroad. When it's in the system, when they put in their names and so it will come up.
So, hold on there now. So when is expulsion an expulsion?
Only when he brings it to the board, apparently.
Oh. Well, Mr. Williams says he met with both girls and their mothers and at least 2 members of staff after the video was brought to his attention in January.
It was November. These girls were in the cadet. They were gathered here, as I understand it, for a weekend camp. The camp did not really take place here, but they would be taken from here to, I don't remember if it was Rossi's or wherever they would go to, and whatever. So they did whatever they had. And as the girls told me, in the presence of their mom, in the presence of the dean of discipline, and at one point in time, the first time I was called to it, it was in the VP's office. You had the VP for the shift, the form teacher, the 2 girls, the 2 mothers, the dean of discipline and myself. That was over 8 persons. But the vice principal's office, the busy people coming for register and students coming to make complaint and so forth and whatever. I moved the thing over to the principal's office. 6 of us came into the office. The 2 girls, 2 mothers, the dean of discipline and myself. As they reported to me, the dean, they were very concerned because this was done from November. In January, the video was out. It was circulating in the school. So one student gave it to this form teacher. The form teacher was very concerned. I understand gave it went to the guidance counselor, must be the female guidance counselor on that shift, and it also was brought to the attention of the dean of discipline and the vice principal on that shift. And they called in the parents, and it was on that day when the parents came in. They didn't share anything on phone, video at home. That they called me over there because there was this concern now about the students now are vilifying the students. They have it and they're going around. And they were coming down heavily, and the new girl in particular. Because one girl, not the lady who first went into the media. She's a new girl. This is her third school. And it was, she had just come in. And, so they understand they blaming the new girl. Because, these students here, I came here 2004 and I never forget. They would tell me, they say, sir, say I deported them and mash up the school. So I even come under fire when I take in students here because the teachers, they would say, oh, it's the boy that the principal taking who is giving problem, or the girl. But if the boy performs well, they don't say, oh, it's the boy that the principal is taking to the school. So I they will be coming down on the new girl because she's new. The other girl, she's here from first form. They are now in grade 10. So when they brought it to my attention, and I brought them from over there because people know and you don't want everybody to see. So we came here and they were telling me the details. I was saying, why did you post it? This is something private and you are in your uniform. Why did you post it? The new girl said, sir, it's not me. She pointed to the other one. Or she said she posted. And so she put it on her status and whatever. So they have in the wrong. So I when as they outlined and they had their say and I questioned them, we talked. Both mothers were saying they have been talking to them. When the other mother of the girl who is the new girl, she held her daughter by the throat. Is the dean of discipline is a strong stocky man. The dean of discipline and other parent had to release the girl's throat from the mother, the new girl. Because I said, no, we have to separate you. We have to find another school. Because the thing is out and they are now, everybody now pointing on you and vilifying you. And the mother hold her and said, when me I go find school for you now?
Did you follow that line of argument? I'm struggling with it a little bit.
Myself.
So yes. He's suggesting then that the school was vilifying the two young ladies, and that as a result of that, he felt it was best that they find different institutions.
Right. And according to the parent of one of the girls, he didn't help them in doing so, despite saying it shouldn't be a problem. He didn't help them.
But I wonder, because in speaking with one of the mothers, it was never suggested that it was they who put forward a suggestion that they would seek other schools.
Right. He was the one who told them that, listen, find another school to go to. Yeah? Well, Mr. Williams says he attempted to transfer both girls to other schools. He says he thought they would benefit from a different environment.
I sent the mother specifically to the principal of Malden High School. We go back far. We know each other from Teachers College. And we are in a coalition down here in St. James. The 10 high schools is in coalition of principals in secondary schools. So when we have situations, it's like whether it's gang or peer pressure or so forth, we can talk to each other and we have a change of environment. I sent the lady specifically to the principal because she's from up that side. Up there is over 14 miles from Montego Bay. I said, all right, since you are from up that side, go to Mrs. So-and-so at Mall and tell her I sent you, and then she's going to call me. They both left the office. I remember when they left, everybody left the office except me. I remember the two girls came in back and they spoke to me. And I said, sir, you can give one chance. I said, no, the thing got viral already. That is the problem. The picking them always pointing on you and so forth. And then they left me and they went behind their parents. It's recently since you guys have it in the media, the female security officer at the gate telling me that Mr. Williams, remember me and the lady we come from the same community. When she came out the gate, she said to me, principal, I send me a Marlon, but me no want me daughter out there. But the lady didn't tell me that. I have alternatives if she don't, but I thought up there was so fitting for her. It could be walking distance, I understand. But she, now I understand, went to the ministry, the regional office, and made point out, and I understand what a certain officer said that, okay, he knows the chairman for the school board up Marlon, and he will get her into school. So as in the media now, I was hearing now that when she was there waiting, she wasn't getting any call back from the regional office and so forth and so on. I remember she came out the gate one morning. I was dealing with some cases out there, and she was saying, whatever. I said, go straight to Janet, who I sent you to. Go there. And then I called the principal myself, and I learned that she would have been there, but not under my instruction. It seemed like when the whatever arrangement. So she was not accepted. But she could have, she never come back to me. I have alternatives. I have other schools. The other ladies said that her daughter was going to Canada to her father, and she would need paperwork. And I said, you would have no problem.
That's Joseph Williams. He's the principal of St. James High School. We'll have more from that interview with him after this break.
Clearing personal, non-commercial shipments at the port? Avoid the wait. Request a contactless clearance through your agent today. It's more efficient. It's secure. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is
15 minutes to 6.
Teachers, looking for a loan? Look no further. At Chris and Charles, you can borrow up to $2 million without a guarantor. We understand the difference your job makes, so here's a little extra support just for you. We know the best teachers teach from the heart, and at Chris and Charles, we're here to help you succeed. Give us a call at 876-920-4189 or WhatsApp 876-838-9028 for loan options. Conditions apply. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
Minutes going up to 6 o'clock. We're hearing the other side of the St. James High School expulsion controversy. This side of the story we're hearing from the principal, Joseph Williams, who has been facing backlash since his story broke about 2 weeks ago in one of the Sunday papers, and we picked it up, and it has just simply mushroomed. It is now the subject of an investigation by the Ministry of Education, and the principal has come under criticism from a number of organizations. His association, the JTA, says it's also investigating the claims. Former chairman of the board, at least 4 former chairmen, plus the current chairman, have all criticized him, saying he's dictatorial and is flouting the education code. Well, he has broken his silence. He refuted the claims that the girls were sent from the school without proper documentation. Mr. Williams says one of the girls came to him with a form to be signed. Note, we bleeped out the name of the school mentioned by Mr. Williams in the clip you're about to hear to protect the identity of the student. Okay, let's listen.
But they have not returned. I'm to tell you now that I think it was in March or February. I don't remember. I didn't write down the date. When I saw our original girl, she was dressed up in jeans, and I said, my girl, what happened? And she said, sir, may I go? Because I think they must be in another school. Not them, she, because what the other mother said. She is going, the other one will be going to Canada. So she said, sir, and I come here, fill out this form. I said, go over to the office next door, go over there. And they did whatever. And then she took it to the dean. And we spoke. And she took it to the dean filled it out, and she left. I think it's in, when did I hear anything again? I think it was is this month, April? I came here, the senior secretary told me that there is a gentleman sitting outside, he's from the cleaner. But see me there. I don't know if he didn't know me or whatever. I said good morning to him and passed him there, went into the office, going back out when the secretary was telling me, say he was here about students with video. I said, he said, no, I don't have information to give you on that. Those students, the child is in another school, and so I don't have anything, information to give you.
He's also accusing the schools board of trying to micromanage him and to run the school at that micro level. As I said, several former chairmen of the board spoke with our news center recently, and they painted a picture of dysfunction at the institution dating back decades.
They've accused him of intimidation, contempt. They've also accused him of treating the school as his personal fiefdom. The current chairman, Christopher McCurdy, says Principal Williams has repeatedly circumvented the Ministry of Education's code. Mr.
McCurdy said there has been a breakdown between the board and the principal, but Mr. Williams is refuting those claims that he is a dictator.
Do they think? Is there any truth in it? Think. Is what they're saying, is it helpful? Is it honest? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Because there is nothing that they can tell me that I can't answer to. I answer to facts. My life is an open book. I think the most important thing is this present chairman. I have my dialogue with this chairman. I have spoken with him since September last year, and he's on a mission. He has taken up a task. He told me in January that, and I said, man, I understand why they move our good chairman and put you in. And he said, and we had discussion over, and he said, he has never lost a battle. I said, you're fighting a losing battle. I told him in January, you can't move me. Remember September, he was with you guys in the media talking about multi-million-dollar fraud at the school. How can that be? Now the auditors had come, and just over 3 weeks ago, we had the exit interview. And it's in the report. They're not going to be interested in that, and they wouldn't want that to be known. All they find is ineptitude on the part of the bursar, and him culpable in certain simple duty that he should carry out. But he's not concerned about that. Everything in place here, he has a problem with.
And he said this is the current chairman.
Yeah, the current chairman. Yeah, of course. And he's the one, he's a blogger, he's in the media. He has access to the media. They don't know their role. I am the CEO on the board and the principal of the school. They want to micromanage. How can you come manage school? You don't even know anything about education. The chairman, you chair the board and you deal with policies. You are not responsible for the day-to-day running of the school, per se. You deal with policies. And on the board, we are all leaders, 15. And you are not the board. The chairman is not the board. I am not the board. It's the 15 of us would constitute the board. He has not had board meeting in over 7 months because that letter that he wrote and then sent to the media and what they did, all those political interference, it never worked out. So he has to come with something again.
So he is now saying that this is political.
Apparently so.
He's accusing Mr. McCurdy of playing politics. Wow.
But it does show a problem because he's also confirmed what Mr. McCurdy has suggested, that the board had some level of dysfunction, having not met for several months.
Since September last year.
Exactly.
Well. This is getting more and more interesting, yes? And he went on to defend his stewardship at St. James High School.
And then I remember years ago when you people in the media were calling for freedom of the press. But it's not freedom of THEB and then PRESS. No, it's freedom of DEPRESS to the press. I'm not the press. Have you ever asked about what has been accomplished at the school? The school which was said to be the worst school, and how many murders? You see how many, I'm so sorry for here. It's too down here in our region now, and not at St. James High. And they are 20 years, over 20 years down here now. Because we are teaching the children to be responsible, to be accountable. Stop the fighting. The problem we have like this, the political interference when you put people here who don't understand about school, and then you join with a clique. saying you want to fight principal after the school has been transformed, except for this chairman, who like myself is not from down here. I don't even know if he have a vote in Jamaica. All the others have said that they never even used to look up here when it was senior school, when you had all those murders and so forth, where the school was terrible.
That's Joseph Williams. He's the principal of the St. James High School. Well. What an interesting way to end that interview.
No, I think we need to replay that last clip. Yeah, in fact, the two last clips. Do we have enough time? Yes, I think so. Yeah, we need to hear Mr. Williams again. Yes? Just to be clear as to what he's saying. You'll pick up, he's accusing the current chairman, Christopher McCurdy, of playing politics. Yes? That the board is dysfunctional, that they're seeking to micromanage the school, and he has a track record of turning around the school. Let's go to the second to last clip.
Do they think? Is there any truth in it? Think. Is what they're saying, is it helpful? Is it honest? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Because there is nothing that they can tell me that I can't answer to. I answer to fact. My life is an open book. I think the most important thing is this present chairman. I have my dialogue with this chairman. I have spoken with him since September last year. And he's on a mission. He has taken up a task. He told me in January that, and I said, man, I understand why they moved our good chairman and put you in. And he said, and we had discussion over. And he said, he has never lost a battle. I said, you're fighting a losing battle. I told him in January, you can't move me. Remember September, he was with you guys in the media talking about multi-million-dollar fraud at the school. How can that be? Now the auditors had come, and just over 3 weeks ago, we had the exit interview. And it's in the report. They're not going to be interested in that, and they wouldn't want that to be known. All they find is ineptitude on the part of the bursar, and him culpable in certain simple duty that he should carry out. But he's not concerned about that. Everything in place here, he has a problem with.
And he said this is the current chairman.
Yeah, the current chairman. Yeah, of course. Then he's the one. He's a blogger. He's in the media. He had access to the media. They don't know their role. I am the CEO and the board and the principal of the school. They want to micromanage. How can you come manage school you don't even know anything about education? The chairman, you chair the board and you deal with policies. You are not responsible for the day-to-day running of the school, per se. You deal with policies. And on the board, we are all leaders, 15. And you are not the board. The chairman is not the board. I am not the board. It's the 15 of us would constitute the board. He has not had board meeting in over 7 months because that letter that he wrote and then sent to the media and what they did, all those political interference, it never worked out. So he has to come with something again. And then I remember years ago when you people in the media were calling for freedom of the press. But it's not freedom of THED and then PRESS. No, it's freedom of DEPRESS to the press. I'm not the press. Have you ever asked about what has been accomplished at the school which was said to be the worst school, and how many murders? You see how many, I'm so sorry if it's too down here in our region now, and not at St. James High. And they are 20 years, over 20 years out here now. Because we are teaching the children to be responsible, to be accountable. Stop the fighting. The problem we have are like this, the political interference when you put people here who don't understand about school, and then you join with a clique saying you want to fight principal. After the school has been transformed, except for this chairman, who like myself is not from down here. I don't even know if he have a vote in Jamaica. All the others have said that they never even used to look up here when it was senior school, when you had all those murders and so forth, where the school was terrible.
Well, that is the side of Mr. Joseph Williams, the principal of St. James High School. This is another chapter in the saga. It's not over, I'm sure. Not over.
Most certainly. I see a clear instance of friction between him and the board. It's clear that Mr. Williams is not used to being managed, so to speak.
Yes. That's the cover story. The headlines are next.
Say hello to peace of mind and goodbye to worry with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan and secure your medical expenses in the event of critical illness today. Call 888-367-5433 for details.
The time by Guardian Life is
6 o'clock.
Upgrade your kitchen and bathroom to the next level with Unique Living. They're the ultimate destination for all your kitchen and bathroom needs, from luxurious shower systems to exquisite faucets, vanities, sinks, toilets, closets, and more. They have it all. Visit shop number 6, 30 Dunrobin Avenue, Kingston 10, or call them at 876-755-3661. Elevate your space with Unique Living, where quality meets expectations.
Nationwide headlines at 6.
Good evening. With the headlines at 6, I'm Nora Gay Banton. The embattled principal of St. James High School, Joseph Williams, has broken his silence. He is dismissing claims that the female students who were seen kissing in a short video were expelled from the institution. Mr. Williams finally spoke after several days of backlash for his handling of the matter after one mother told the media that her child was expelled without due process. Shalois Michael has the story.
The girls were reportedly expelled in January after a 2-second video of them kissing was posted on one of the girls' WhatsApp status. The video was reportedly shared with Principal Williams. He told their mothers to find another school for them, as there was no longer a place for them at St. James High School. The mother of one of the girls, a 16-year-old, told Nationwide News that she'd been facing difficulties enrolling her child in another school due to a lack of support and documentation from Mr. Williams and the Ministry of Education's regional office. The child was placed in a private institution on April 15, 3 months later, only after the matter was blown up in the media. The expulsion of the girls has since triggered a formal investigation by the Ministry of Education and the Board of St. James High School. Several stakeholders, including Jamaicans for Justice, the Jamaica Teachers Association, and the LGBTQ+ rights organization Equality for All Foundation, have also spoken out against the expulsion of the girls. But Mr. Williams is painting a different picture. In an interview with Nationwide News on Monday, Mr. Williams said the girls in question were never formally disciplined over the incident. He insists that the girls had not been expelled. Instead, he says the idea of a transfer came out of an abundance of caution to protect the girls from being taunted at school.
No students were expelled. What you going to punish them for? Look from when that happened. What you going to punish them for? 6 of us came into the office. The 2 girls, the 2 mothers, the dean of discipline and myself. As they reported to me, the dean, they were very concerned because this was done from November. In January, the video was out, it was circulating in the school. I said, no, we have to separate you. We have to find another school because the thing is out and everybody now pointing on you and vilifying you. And the mother hold her and said, when me I go find school for you now and she are going to need paperwork. I said, if that is the case, you don't have no problem. We will still do the paperwork.
The mother who spoke to the media initially explained that there was no formal documentation from the principal to help find another school. But Mr. Williams is also denying this claim.
They have not returned. When I saw our original girl, she was dressed up in jeans. And asked my girl what happened. And she said, sir, may I go? I come for you fill out this form. I said, go over to the office next door. And they did whatever. And then she took it to the dean. And we spoke and she left. And when I saw what in the newspaper that this mother saying that recounting conversation with the principal, we didn't have any conversation with the 2 of us.
The matter is still being investigated by the Board of St. James High. Shalois Michael for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, Mr. Williams has hit back at former and current chairman of the school board. 4 former chairmen, along with the current chairman of the school board, Christopher McCurdy, said Mr. Williams repeatedly avoided the Ministry of Education's code of conduct when disciplining students. The former chairman also painted a picture of dysfunction and intimidation by Mr. Williams spanning several years. But Mr. Williams described the collective views of the men as an attempt to shake him down.
dictatorship. They don't know their role. I am the CEO and the board and the principal of the school. They want to micromanage. The chairman, you chair the board and you deal with policies. You are not responsible for the day-to-day running of the school, per se. He has not had board meeting in over 7 months.
Mr. Williams says he will not give in.
They have nothing substantial to say. Everything in place here he has a problem with, but it's a grudge. Oh, you're not belonging to this party, and okay, we need to get you out, and so forth. I am not a yes man, I'm not a simpleton. This is what, 38 years now in education. I've been principal elsewhere. I've taught at other schools. I'm no raccoon.
The embattled principal says St. James High School has flourished under his leadership. In the meantime, the Jamaica Teachers Association, JTA, says it's currently investigating the concerns generated by the actions of St. James High School Principal Joseph Williams. JTA President Leighton Johnson says they've taken note of the allegations regarding the unilateral actions taken by the principal without the approval of the school's board.
We have taken active interest. We are gathering all the information as best as possible before making that comprehensive amend. But what I would do and what I can say is that right across the board, we will continue to encourage our administrators that once you are dispelling any form of discipline within your school, it must be done within the confines and the ambits of the prescribed law that has been established.
The school's chairman, Christopher McCurdy, says there is a pattern of unsanctioned and unsupported behavior by Mr. Williams. Meanwhile, the president of the Jamaica Association of Chairmen of Secondary Institutions, Courtney Winter, says he's been in contact with Mr. McCurdy.
I've had word with Mr. McCurdy and offer some support. What I will say at this point is that Mr. McCurdy, I think, has had the support of the association, and he had a meeting last Thursday. The result of that meeting has not been disclosed. We, as board members and chairmen, always encourage our principals to stick to the policies and the procedures as it is outlined in the reg.
Courtney Winter, president of the Jamaica Association of Chairmen of Secondary Institutions. Both men were speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Monday. In other news, the opposition People's National Party PNP has written to the Public Service Commission PSC to request clarity concerning the specific basis on which an acting Director of Public Prosecutions DPP has been appointed. The letter was sent by Hilton Powell Attorneys at Law, which is representing Philip Paulwell and Peter Bunting. The detailed letter was addressed to Chairperson of the PSC, Mrs. Patricia Sinclair McCullough. It's requesting clarification on the specific basis for the appointment of an acting DPP following the ruling by the Constitutional Court on April 19. According to the PNP, the court declared that the second extension of the tenure of DPP Paul Llewellyn was unconstitutional, null and void. It says by virtue of this judicial decision, there's been a vacancy in the office of the DPP since September 2023. However, statements from the Attorney General's chamber suggest otherwise. The PNP says it's dedicated to ensuring that appointments within key public offices are conducted transparently and adhere strictly to the law. The party says it will continue to closely monitor this situation and expects a clear and prompt response from the PSC to address these vital legal questions. Those were the headlines at 6. I'm Nora Gay. Banton Sports is next.
KFC hot wings, a wing for the win. From your taste one wing, there's just no stopping. KFC hot wings, it's finger licking, spicy or barbecue. Which one you picking? Good for have on the go. Any flex, any link. Best wing, best believer. We say the thing, long lasting flavor. We stay winning. KFC hot wings, a wing for the win. KFC hot wings, delicious, irresistible. Enjoy a 10-piece combo or 25-piece party bucket today in hot and spicy or spicy barbecue. KFC hot wings, a wing for the win.
Watch for Shelly and Fraser Price. I stay locked to the Olympics because, of course, I'm Jamaican. What you mean? Me, I have to tune into the Olympics, man. Because I'm always busy, but what? half know when Sherika Jackson beat Shakari.
Brother, I have every notification for the Olympics. I want to hear every run.
Now Sherika Jackson coming
every jump.
Oh, that is absolutely huge of Wade Pinkham.
Every fling, live.
So, take us then.
Nothing can miss me.
We're always on the move.
So while we're driving, run, Elaine, run.
Jogging. Yes. Run, Watson. Win again.
Watson is now a world champion.
Or even at work.
Quick. The race has started.
We can't miss a beat because we keep it locked
to the only station
for the Paris Olympics.
Nationwide.
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 90 FM.
Nationwide 90.1, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7 and 90.9 and on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live. Nationwide, the new revolution in media. Hello, good evening and welcome to Sports here on Nationwide 90 FM. I'm Wayne Walker. Minister of Finance and the Public Service, the Honorable Nigel Clark, has scheduled a meeting with stakeholders of the local horse racing industry for Thursday, May 2. The meeting is to discuss recent developments at Caymanas Park. Among those expected to be in attendance at the meeting, jockeys, grooms, trainers, promoters, veterinarians, horse race care personnel, commissioners from the Jamaica Racing Commission, and the management of Supreme Ventures Racing and Entertainment Limited. On Saturday, 2 races were abandoned for breach of Rule 44, which speaks to the enforcement of strict adherence to race start times with a maximum allowance of 5 minutes after published post time. Chairman of SVREL, Solomon Sharp, says he's hoping that matters will be resolved at Thursday's meeting.
There's a lot of issues and been burning issues from the backstretch. So I expect a productive meeting. And if I'm to go by what the junior minister said recently, and if I have to go what the minister continues to say, that Jamaica is open for business and that we have to look at solutions on how to grow these industries. We have done quite a bit and we have grown the business.
Meanwhile, Sharp says the Jamaica Racing Commission is over-regulating and run the risk of doing more harm than good to the product.
Stop penalizing an industry. You took away earning opportunities from some individuals on Saturday rather because I guess you wanted to punish the promoter. Nobody wins in this scenario, okay? Stop over-regulating and allow the industry to flow. It's quite simple.
Yesterday, head of the Jamaica Racing Commission, Clovis Metcalf, told Nationwide Sports that all stakeholders were either invited to or attended meetings to discuss the amendment to Rule 44. He mentioned Sharp among those who were invited or in attendance, but Sharp says he was never a part of any of those meetings.
Solomon Sharp was not at any of those meetings. So I don't know if he was ill-advised. I don't think he was the one that conducted these meetings. It was conducted by one of the operational stewards based on what my research told me this morning. And Solomon Sharp was not present at any of these rules. I found out a day before, and then it was in the race book. Full stop.
Solomon Sharp. West Indies women beat Pakistan by 2 runs to take an unassailable 3-0 lead in their 5-match T20 International Series at the National Stadium in Karachi today. Chasing 133 to win, Pakistan made 130 for 8 in their 20 overs. Sidra Amin top scored. She got 63 off 58 balls. Captain Hayley Matthews and Afi Fletcher bagged the 2 wickets apiece. Earlier, the Caribbean women made 132 for 5 in their 20 overs. Matthews again led the charge. She got 68 off 49 balls with 10 fours. Support came from Shemaine Campbell, 31, Chedi Nation, 10, and Chanel Henry, 11 not out. Fatima Sana took 2 wickets for Pakistan. Game 4 in the series will be on Thursday. President of the Jamaica Cricket Association, Dr. Donovan Bennett, says his administration will be pushing to widen and strengthen the pool of female players in Jamaica. Dr. Bennett says he hopes to meet with the president of the Inter-Secondary School Sports Association, ISA, to discuss establishing a girls' league at the secondary level.
What we have in female cricket in Jamaica and across the entire Caribbean is a sort of ad hoc thing. You drive around and you ask about female cricketers. Do we have a cricketer that you know of that you can recommend to us? No. We have got to get to the stage where the females play the game at an early age. I am going to ask ISA and I'm going to implore on him the fact that we need to start a female competition in the high schools. I don't think that, we'll get every high school to play, but if we can get 5 or 6 or 7 high schools to start playing the female game, it will grow. It will make a big difference.
Dr. Bennett says he is also in agreement in principle with the suggestion that each local club should have a female team.
But we have to take it stage by stage. There are just not enough female cricketers present now who know the game or can play the game or who are interested in the game, where we would be able to have all the clubs and parishes playing in a competition. That is impossible. The only way you would get there is to expose the game to the primary school children, and then in a couple of years we can push it along. On the 15 competition, then on the 17 competition, then on the 19, then we go to the clubs and parishes with their senior teams. So it's going to take a little time, but if we're going to do it, we can't do it in an ad hoc way. We have to do it in a very systematic and thoughtful way.
That's President of the Jamaica Cricket Association, Dr. Donovan Bennett. CONCACAF has summoned a significant transition in the organization and management of the Caribbean Club Shield, with the Caribbean Football Union, CFU, taking the reins of the respected Caribbean club competition from the 2024 edition onwards. General Secretary of the Jamaica Football Federation, Dennis Chung, welcomes the decision.
CFU has the highest number of delegates from CONCACAF, so having that sort of responsibility is good, because CFU is, a force to be reckoned with in terms of number of representatives in CONCACAF. So it's good for them to do it. I mean, it will also give us in the CFU opportunity to prove what we can do in terms of bringing the organizational skills that we have.
Chung says under the terms of the agreement, the CFU will assume responsibility for the organization and management of the competition. However, he says CONCACAF will provide support for its delivery.
The support, I guess, will be primarily financial, because that's what they normally do, just provide the financial support and then access to do the organization of games, for example. CONCACAF will still hold all the right, for example, television rights and all that.
Dennis Chung, General Secretary of the Jamaica Football Federation. And the competition will be rebranded as the CFU Club Shield and will qualify 2 clubs into the CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. Jamaica's under-18 men's football team closed out their campaign in the UEFA Friendship Tournament on a high in Turkey today. They beat Ecuador by 2-1. Orain Watson got both goals to Jamaica from the spot. The team is scheduled to be back home tomorrow. And Jamaica's under-17 men's football team will host their Trinidad and Tobago counterparts in 2 international friendlies at the UWIC Captain Horace Burrell Centre of Excellence at the weekend. The first game is set for Friday, game 2 on Sunday. The teams are using the games as part of their prep for the CONCACAF Championship in 2025. Trinidad and Tobago will also play a club team on Tuesday. Brazilian superstar Vinicius Jr. scored twice today to hand record champions Real Madrid the advantage, heading back home to the Santiago de Bernabeu for the second leg of their European Champions League semi-final against Bayern Munich. Vinicius Jr. opened and closed the scoring on the night as the teams played out a 2-2 draw at the Allianz Arena in Germany, with Leroy Sané and Harry Kane getting Munich's goals.
Slip through towards Vinicius Jr. And that's what they can do to you. Out of nothing, Real Madrid conjure up a magical goal and strike first in the semi-final. Just to get it, Mendy. Zene! Oh, pick that out. Bang! He just changed gear there, and he's changed the whole mood inside this stadium. It's a stunning goal from Leroy Sané. So cool. And nobody has scored more goals in this season's Champions League now than Harry Kane. Nobody has scored more big-time goals in Europe this season than Harry Kane. He came to Bayern Munich last year to score goals and win trophies. He might still do both. The greatest team game on earth becomes an individual contest, which Vinicius Jr. wins. Neuer dived. Vinicius Jr.'s penalty was pretty central, but he was pretty sure that Neuer was on the way. And it's 2-2.
The first leg of the other semi-final will also be in Germany tomorrow, with the Borussia Dortmund taking on the French champions Paris Saint-Germain. Finally, in sports at this time, France has registered a record number of imported dengue cases just 3 months before the start of the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. The Paris Olympic Games will be held July 26 to August 11, while the Paralympics will run August 28 to September 8. There have been 1,700 cases across the country since the start of this year. President of the Jamaica Olympic Association, Chris Samuda, says it is proving a cause for concern ahead of the spectacle that is just around the corner.
Paris is contending with challenges which are not uncommon to games, but an increase recently in the number of dengue imported cases raises the temperature. I am, however, confident that the French public health authorities have the wherewithal to prevent it from rising to a fever pitch and posing a real risk to the Games.
Samira says the Jamaica Olympic Association, JOA, is closely monitoring the situation.
Our medical team is quite experienced in preventive and diagnostic medicine and care. We must nevertheless guard against overreacting and panic attacks, which inflame the situation when there are dying embers. The health and safety of athletes, coaches, and managers are paramount for the JOA, and in that regard, we will keep a watch and never sleep. Our protocols dictate that before traveling, personal doctors should evaluate and, if satisfied, provide a clean bill just to ensure that there are no underlying conditions that will predispose a person to succumbing to existing health risks in the country hosting the Games.
President of the Jamaica Olympic Association, Christopher Samuda. That's sports.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
6:20.
Is your money idling when it could be thriving? With CIBC Caribbean's fixed deposit offering, you can take charge of your cash. With 50,000 Jamaican to start, choose terms from 30 days to 2 years. Lock in your funds and enjoy premium rates guaranteed to grow your wealth. Whether you're eyeing short or long-term gains, our fixed deposit account puts you firmly in control of your money. Now is the time to open a CIBC fixed deposit account and start earning more today. CIBC, ambitions made real.
Whether it's a heartfelt eulogy, an inspiring tribute, or a remembrance, place your ads in the Life Tribute section of the Jamaica Observer to remember the extraordinary individuals who have left their mark on this world. The Life Tribute section allows you to share stories, commemorate your loved ones, and keep their memory alive. Find solace in the power of remembrance. Together, we can keep their spirit alive. Book with the Jamaica Observer today. Contact 876-936-9504 for more details.
On a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30.
Well, that was in the beginning, when love was new and the relationship was filled with fun, frolic and fireworks. Everything went long, the posturepedic journey was flaming hot, and the coffee was always steaming. Gym was pumping iron, ladies went to a gym, and home was a place to be instead of the neighborhood. But what about loving in the long term? How much does it matter if the length of love is lasting? Is it really just an overrated part of a relationship if a partner doesn't perform to perfection? Join me, Rodney Campbell, every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. This Tuesday's topic: giving top-tier service in long-term relationships, an obligation to perform or just satisfied with the norm?
Brought to you by Supermed Pharmacy. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
How certain are you that you're taking proper care of your pets? How often do you take them to the vet? Just as we need annual checkups with our doctors, most pets need regular checkups too. Owning and caring for a family pet doesn't have to be a difficult or burdensome experience. Nationwide 90 FM has an exciting feature called Pets World that will help you take better care of your pets. Join Nationwide 90 FM every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning as we take you into the do's and don'ts of caring for your pets. That's Pets World every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Public Opinion is brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Good evening, and welcome to Public Opinion. I'm Roby Ann Williams. A special good evening to our friends on our YouTube platform. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, as always, we want to hear from you, so we ask you to weigh in live in the comment section on today's Public Opinion. So, the conversation as it relates to outstanding tickets, traffic tickets, motorists with outstanding traffic tickets has been reignited. This follows yesterday's revelation by the police that the driver of a white Toyota Probox motorcar who was involved in a road rage incident on Beechwood Avenue in St. Andrew last Friday, well, he has 61 outstanding traffic tickets, and you heard me right, 61. The man, 37-year-old Peter Bramwell, attacked another man inside his Pajero motor car after both vehicles collided. And by now, I believe we have, if we not see the video, we hear about the video. We hear of the video. So in public opinion today, we're asking, should driver's license of a motorist with over 20 outstanding traffic tickets be automatically suspended? I'm going to start with the comments on our Twitter platform. Well, it's called X nowadays. Mom of two says from it reached 2, she believes that the license should be suspended automatically. From it reached 2 outstanding traffic tickets. All right. Sweet Music says if his driver's license is even suspended, he will be still out on the road doing what he wants to do, as this is Jamaica. Anything goes. All right. The views there. From Sweet Music. Let me see if I can get in some more. Elon Musk admirer says, what system is in Platot? Catch them? Oh, I'm not sure what that one is saying, Elon Musk admirer. Bo Winkle says, I can't believe this is actual. Well, it is a question because guess what? People out here with 61 tickets, 61 outstanding tickets. That's what we're talking about. But we put it to 20. Should the driver's license of a motorist with over 20 outstanding traffic tickets be automatically suspended? Going on over to our Facebook platform where Philip Jackson says, my question is, does this system have any use? How can this be? He's saying that here in the US, if I have one unpaid ticket which is past due, my driving privilege is revoked immediately and it reflects everywhere I do business and I'm blocked. Wow, yeah. Andrew Freighter says, if he go through the court system and was found guilty, yes. If he pays the tickets and he's a repeated offender of some serious RTA breaches, yes. Remember, tickets can be maliciously issued, so we have to exhaust all the channels and is guilty. And if he's guilty, then yes, that is true. That's also something to consider. That is definitely something to consider, Andrew Freighter, and we welcome that opinion, of course. We welcome all opinion, but that way I say, Andrew Freighter, makes sense. Some tickets can be maliciously issued, and we know about this. Yeah, so exhaust all the options, every channel, as Andrew Freighter said, and then yeah, it can be automatically suspended if it is that he or she is found guilty. Neil Walters says, if we as a country is serious, he should never sit around a steering again, much more given back a license to drive. And then, you have some people where we tell you, say, a license to drive vehicle, you have them people where we tell you that. Sean Major Campbell says, oh no. The authorities should be patient with him and allow him to continue to drive on his driver's license with impunity. And all others out there like him, go on through, you're safe. I think I don't know if this is sarcasm, Sean Major Campbell. But I sense a little bit of sarcasm right there. Anthony Shake says yes and suspended for many, many years. Fabian says yes for 10 years. Beverly Barrett says take away for good. Take away the license for good if a motorist have over 20 outstanding traffic tickets. Winston is also agreeing, yes. Christopher Isaacs is questioning, are we saying that once it has not exceeded 20 tickets, then we all should be all right? I don't know about that, Annette Wheeler says, yes, it should be suspended. The license should be suspended for at least 5 years. Natalie Winter says no. She don't believe that the driver's license of a motorist with over 20 outstanding traffic tickets should be automatically suspended. CJ is saying yes, but isn't that what is happening? Well, Shawnee Reynolds says yes, 20. Him or she shouldn't even reach 10. I don't know, man, but 61 outstanding traffic tickets, that a whole heap of traffic tickets, I mean, even if they were maliciously issued, some would say they don't want to go to court because it's a long process and all of that. But driving your vehicle, I don't know how you feel comfortable on the road driving your vehicle. Every turn me turn a corner, I would wonder if a policeman run there. Because them go run a license, them go run a license. Every turn me turn, I would fret. Me no want drive, some want drive uncomfortable. But let's get to the comments on our X platform real quick. The question we're putting to you, should the driver's license of a motorist with over 20 outstanding traffic tickets be automatically suspended? Richard Della Pena says yes, but it shouldn't have reached 20 in the first place. Indeed. Buddy is saying yes, a driver's license of a motorist with 20 outstanding traffic tickets should be automatically suspended. Having that many outstanding tickets indicate a pattern of reckless and dangerous driving behavior that poses a threat to public safety. By suspending the driver's license, it ensures that the individual cannot continue to put themselves and others at risk on the road. People, we all need to take road safety. Road safety it's supposed to be on the top of our list. You know? We're supposed to practice some proper road safety measures and all them something. I'm not telling a lie. Some things when I say I go on the road, I'm afraid. Willie Ryan says, after 5 tickets, the license should be suspended and a warrant out for arrests. The delinquency is too much. It is too much. And then you get traffic amnesty and then, take it up and then, All right, let me get to the comments on our YouTube platform to see what's happening there. CJ Martinez, no, you're not speaking to me there. Mercy says, you know how many black men lock up in the US for traffic violations? We are jokers. We're joker. Me not tell a lie. 20 and over, not even, me don't know, but 5, me don't know. Doreen Johnson is saying, get them off the road. Get them off the road. Rose Chin believes that after 3 offenses, the license should be suspended. The seriousness of the offense should also be taken into consideration when deciding. That is true. That is true. The seriousness of the offense, because it may very well be seatbelt, and I'm not saying that that's not a serious offense right there. That's not what I'm saying. But it may be minor on the scale of offenses as it relates to what may happen on the road. Jaja says, why was there no warrant in his pick put up on all police put up on all police station? Remember, now we have smart police station. I believe there were 4 warrants out for him, That's what the police said. 4 warrants were out. But me not telling a lie. Like 61? And see, Logsley Gregory says license not drive car. So you're saying even if it's suspended, then he or she will continue to drive on the roads? I've heard people say that, that license or drive car. That may hear people say. Jaja Lewis says 10 years after it gets suspended. Yeah? Comments coming in on this one. Herman believes that we should revoke their license. Nathan Gale, one driver had 61 tickets. It looks like no police force in Jamaica. Well, you can say that's an indictment of some sort, indeed. Joseph Dawkins says that much tickets means you accumulated more than 10 points. Your license should be suspended. King J. Bo says with that many tickets, he should only be allowed to ride a donkey. Me not tell no lie. Like, me don't know how you feel comfortable on the road with 61 outstanding tickets. But then again, I'm saying a member. That can be a defense. I didn't remember. I don't recall. I don't think so. That is not a strong defense any at all. People, please be safe on the road. Some things I'm say go on make me afraid. Do all the best and keep yourself safe and keep others safe. Me hear somebody say, when you drive for the people on the road. Don't drive for yourself alone, but drive for the people on the road. And if you have an outstanding traffic ticket, I don't know, go pay it. Go pay it. If it was issued maliciously, then by all means, go to the courthouse. It's a process. There are many channels that you can go through. Thank you guys so much for participating in our public opinion this evening. Remember, you have the option of agreeing and or disagreeing, as you're entitled to your own opinion. That's public opinion. Do stay tuned for the business report.
Public Opinion was brought to you by Cleasing Industrial Supplies Limited, Industrial Automation and Control Solutions.
Annual eye examinations not only assess your vision but may be life-saving. Eye tests may detect serious health issues that go beyond your vision. Call IQ Optical to schedule your comprehensive eye test today.
The temperature by IQ Optical is
29 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 out west in Montego Bay. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Nationwide's Business Report. I'm Robianne Williams. The country has increased its net international reserves, NIR, to over $5 billion for the first time in its history. Finance Minister Dr. Nigel Clark highlighted the achievement on Tuesday. Now, international reserves are any kind of funds held by the Bank of Jamaica that are primarily available for balance payments in the country. The NIR influences the foreign exchange rate and helps to maintain confidence in our financial markets. The size of a country's reserves, relative to its economy and debt, are often used as a measure of fiscal stability. Dr. Clark says Jamaica's vulnerability to shocks makes having substantial reserves a necessity. Further afield, the European Commission has opened formal investigation proceedings into Meta over its handling of political content, including a suspected Russian influence campaign. With elections looming in the EU and elsewhere, officials said they would assess whether the company's approach to moderating disinformation on Facebook and Instagram breached EU law. Among the Commission's concerns is Meta's oversight of its advertising tools and whether they had been exploited by malicious actors. The probe will also examine whether Meta is being transparent enough over its moderation of political content and accounts. And finally, in the currency markets, at the close of trading today, it cost 156 Jamaican dollars and 93 cents to buy $1, 198 Jamaican dollars and 15 cents to buy £1 British pound, and 115 Jamaican dollars and 54 cents to buy the Canadian dollar. Well, that's the business report. I'm Robianne Williams. Good evening.
Drive the most exciting new vehicles in Jamaica. Schedule your 2024 Ford Ranger pickup or Ford Everest 7-seater SUV test drive now. Call or visit KIG today.
If it's in the public's interest, it's the nation's business during Nationwide at 5. The nation's business.
How certain are you that you're taking proper care of your pets? How often do you take them to the vet? Just as we need annual checkups with our doctors, most pets need regular checkups too. Owning and caring for a family pet doesn't have to be a difficult or burdensome experience. Nationwide 90 FM has an exciting feature called Pets World that will help you take better care of your pets. Join Nationwide 90 FM every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning as we take you into the do's and don'ts of caring for your pets. That's Pets World every Wednesday at 6:50 a.m. during the program This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote, "By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path." Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's Word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of The Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
The Oasis is brought to you by Solar Tech Jamaica. We use the gift of the sun to power our world.
But is this real? Hey Greg, come look at this. Oh my, it's happening. Mr. Daniels, the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger.
Sir, the clicks are off the charts.
Hello, sales? What's the emergency? 9,000 clicks in one day? 3,000 order? So how much we have left? What? I soon call you back. Mr. Nakamoto, it's Danny from Jamaica. I need 5,000 of the big ones. We're back in business.
Yes, sir. Arigato. Suene.
Amplify your brand. Let Nationwide 90 FM assist you in tapping into a captivated audience across our social media platforms. For more information, contact us at 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Businesses, companies, and entrepreneurs, let's supercharge your brand. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Stay ahead of the curve with our cutting-edge reporting and accurate breaking news coverage.
We're having an earthquake. Oh, God.
Hear it here first on volume and listen. We bring a mix of news, entertainment, and sports to your lives.
Nationwide 90 FM's live and continuous coverage of the World Championships in Budapest, Hungary.
News and discussions week mornings.
Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning.
Entertainment in the afternoons, then news again in the evenings.
Nationwide news at this hour, fired.
Also tune in to the entertainment and sports shows in the nights and on the weekends.
It is Boy Things After Dark right here on Nationwide 90 FM.
Everything is news, from current affairs and entertainment to sports, business, and other categories.
Nationwide 90 FM. This is Benjamin. Give it to them. Zaga, Zen.
From every whisper to every commotion.
That's rubbish. The KSAMC cannot investigate itself.
Was Click News really talking like that? Every news story unfolds here first at Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. Every sound is a story, and every story we share is news.
I'm Dennis Brooks.
I'm Alan Campbell.
I'm Floyd Green.
And I'm Garth Williams. Catch us on the Jamaican Dads podcast right here on Nationwide 90 FM, Thursdays at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m.
The Jamaican Dads podcast is all about providing men with a healthy, safe, and functional forum to tackle many of the taboo topics that concern our masculinity.
Like everyone else out there, we're dads of varying amounts of experience who come from different backgrounds and often view the world differently.
We're definitely not perfect, but we are all brethren and we're all committed to this piece of rock called Jamaica.
Too often, there are no safe spaces for men to explore the issues which are important to us.
Plus, most of the content out there about parenthood is produced by women, for women. So we think it is important that we be the change we want to see.
Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jamaican Dads with a Z.
And definitely join us here on Nationwide 90 FM every Thursday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m. for the Jamaican Dads podcast. It's a revolution in media.
Chewy flavor with delight. It really, really nice. May I have to say it twice.
The time by Jamaica Mountain Peak Golden Turmeric Latte is
6:42. Good evening. Thank you so much for staying with us here nationwide at 5. I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Siobhan Campbell.
Well, before we get into our next segment on the Donna Anderson polls, we have just been handed a letter from the Opposition People's National Party surrounding the appointment of the Acting Director of Public Prosecutions. Siobhan?
Yes, according to that letter, it says legal action surrounding the appointment of the Acting Director of Public Prosecutions dated April 30, 2024. It says the People's National Party, PNP, informs the public that its attorneys at law, having written to the Public Service Commission to request clarity concerning the specific basis on which an Acting Director of Public Prosecutions, DPP, has been appointed. Hilton, Powell, attorneys at law representing Philip Paulwell and Peter Bunting, have sent a detailed letter to Mrs. Patricia Sinclair McCullough, CDJP, chairperson of the Public Service Commission, requesting clarification on the specific basis for the appointment of the acting DPP following the ruling by the full court on April 19, 2024.
And it ends following two other paragraphs where the PNP will continue to closely monitor this situation and expects a clear and prompt response from the Public Service Commission to address what it is calling these vital legal questions. So it has written to the Public Service Commission seeking clarity. Yes, specific clarity. Yeah, it says request clarity concerning the specific basis on which an acting director of public prosecutions has been appointed. All right. Now, a poll commissioned by the PNP and published in Tuesday's edition of the Gleaner newspaper shows the opposition with a significant lead over the governing Jamaica Labour Party. The poll was commissioned by the PNP and conducted by Don Anderson's Market Research Services Limited between April 4 and 12, and it was conducted among persons 18 and older.
It canvassed the views of 1,057 respondents and has a margin of error of plus or minus 3%. It shows that if a general election was called shortly, the PNP would get the support of 36.8% of respondents. The JLP would get the support of 29% of respondents.
All right, we have the pollster joining us. By the way, the margin of error, you did say it, 3%?
Yes, 3%.
Right, and according to the poll, 19.1% of the respondents say they are undecided, and 15% say they would not vote. Yes? Don Anderson joins us now. Good evening, Don.
Good evening to you. How are you all doing?
We are good. And you?
I'm good.
Good. And of course, whenever there's a poll like this, you get the standard responses. Those who are in favor of the findings, who find favor of the findings, think you are the best thing in the world, and those who don't say you're the worst thing in the world, without credibility and all kinds of issues. We're not going down that road. I'm going to go down the road. Give me some clarity in the numbers. First of all, a 7.8% lead is a massive lead. If this were a general election result, this means that the PNP would be winning in a landslide. Isn't that so?
I kind of don't venture down that road because, constituency size is very significantly. And it's not always easy to project from a percentage lead to a seat count of the 63. But it would be a comfortable win for sure, based on that 7.8% gap.
Mm-hmm. The other thing I want you to clear up, Don, when was the last time any poll you did showed either party being 8 points ahead?
I could tell you very easily. In 2022, we did one that had the Jamaica Labour Party 13 percentage points ahead. Carefully, 13 percentage points.
That was in 2022?
2022.
Uh-huh.
And I must make the point also that in 2020 July, before the 2020 election, we had the Jamaica Labour Party 16 percentage points ahead. What was the outcome?
The JLP won.
Right?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
All right. Okay.
Good.
And in 2022, they were still ahead by 13 percentage points.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So,
Mm-hmm. But now, in terms of the PNP's polling, yes, since those numbers that you just relayed, 2020 July and 2022, this is one of the best performances for the PNP over those years.
Oh, absolutely sure. As a matter of fact, let me just say that between 2016, let's go back to 2016, just prior to the election in that year, and 2022, we conducted 7 national polls. All of them actually for the Gleaner RGR group. 7 national polls. The average lead by the Jamaica Labour Party in those 7 polls was 10 percentage points, rising to a high of 16 in in 2020, 13 in 2012. So the average lead was 10 percentage points. Now, since 2023, when we began to see a change in the landscape, the People's National Party has had a lead in about 3 of the 5 polls that we have done. But this is the largest lead they have had in the last 18 months that we've been polling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And according to the findings, Mr. Anderson, the PNP still seem to command that lead on the basis of the older demographic rather than the youngers, correct?
That is correct. But there was a poll in late 2023 that had the People's National Party actually doing pretty well in the 18 to 24 age cohort. All right? But the thing that one needs to note carefully is that this is a segment, the age cohort, that is least likely to vote.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And therefore, when you have a substantial lead in that particular category, it doesn't necessarily translate into and feed into an overall national lead.
Yes, but according to this poll, you're now seeing that the younger 18 to 24 are now breaking evenly.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Contrary to previous polling when they were going for the Labour Party.
Exactly. And then when you look across the older age groups, they are again predominantly People's National Party, which is part of the traditional kind of support that the PNP gets.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm interested, Don, in terms of who would vote. By these numbers, is it correct that you'd have a voter turnout of about 65%?
You know, voter intention in a poll is generally higher than the actual turnout. And this we substantiated again in the last local government election, where based on all the polls we were doing, there was an anticipation of upwards of 36% turnout, but it turned out to be 29%. All right, so, you know, there are all kinds of factors that prevent those who say they're going to go out to vote to actually go out to vote.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, what you really need to look at is not the standalone polls, but the trend in the support, which is absolutely the more important measure of likely outcome in an election.
Right.
Mr. Anderson, a poll is mostly reflective of the period of time in which it was conducted, and this was done between April 4 and April 12. So this is well after the budget debates, and that shows the PNP ahead significantly despite what we would consider the goodies that the JLP administration handed down during that period of time. Is it to suggest then that these are not impacting or not having the impact that the governing JLP would have liked?
That is that possibility. But again, until people see the reality of these changes in their pockets and in their households and are able to go out and buy and take care of their daily household needs, these don't impact them, you know. You see? When you talk in terms of factors that keep people away from voting, a lot of people say that a lot of promises are made by politicians that aren't fulfilled, both parties, you know? Mm-hmm. And therefore, you have to be clear that you wouldn't expect a sort of knee-jerk reaction. The budget is presented. There are all kinds of goodies that are being offered, and people are going to change their minds immediately. Mm-hmm. And I say so against the background of the fact that the poll was conducted 6 weeks after the People's National Party enjoyed a significant swing in the local government elections in February. Mm-hmm. You know, so what I believe is happening also is that there is a kind of momentum with the People's National Party, and as a result, a kind of bandwagon effect where people are saying, boo boy, the PNP is looking decent, you know, maybe I could really go out and vote for them. Mm-hmm. So these are factors that are impacting that 7.8% lead by the People's National Party, which, as you all say, and we all agree, is the largest gap the People's National Party has enjoyed in almost 10 years of polling.
Apart from that, what you call the bandwagon effect of February 26, what else are you picking up as to what are the contributing factors to the surge in PNP support?
There's been a number of events that have dented the kind of confidence that the voting public has had in the Jamaica Labour Party, starting from January. The whole question of the salary increases that were given still hangs as far as we are seeing. over the heads of the support for the Jamaica Labour Party. And there are a number of other situations which have not endeared the party to the general public to the extent that they would have liked. And when you compare all of that to the momentum that the PNP gained in the 2020, the recently concluded election, these are factors that are driving support. Maybe emotional at the moment, but we won't know until we do another 1, 2, 3 months from now to see if this pattern holds. If this pattern holds, then obviously there is greater concern for the Jamaica Labour Party.
Tell me, people are did you really canvass why people are saying PNP as against JLP now? Did you ask that?
Yeah, man. Sure, we do have a lot of information as to how why they would vote. Let me just look at the support for the People's National Party. Very interestingly, when we asked that 36%, why would you vote for the People's National Party? What are the things that are saying? 44% of the persons that, first of all, they gave a range of answers, and none of these was prompted. In other words, we said, why are they going to vote for the People's National Party? Why are you going to vote for the Jamaica Labour Party? And we captured verbatim comments from each set of people, different sets of people. 44% said they would vote for the PNP because they look after the poor. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I made the point earlier that between the 1989 and 2006 period of dominance of the People's National Party, the party was identified as a party for the poor. Now that faded away between 2006 and now. Kind of sort of party loyalty was the principal factor. Now we're seeing in the last 2 polls that they're now being referred to again as the party for the poor, largest single factor contributing to the support for them.
44%.
44%. And we had 39% would say the party with the best track record of managing the country.
Oh.
Yep. 39%. And we had 15% would say it involves the citizens in decision making. 18% say they have better social programs. 17% now give you traditional party support as their reason. And 13% say the party is now organized.
Yes.
So there's the perception that the party is more united and more organized. And these are factors that are contributing to the support for the People's National Party, that's 36%. Right?
And I'm sure, what did they give for supporting the JLP?
Why are they going to support the JLP? Let me get to that data very quickly. 45% say they have the country's best interest at heart. Again, it's of that 29%, we need to note, because we take it for granted, but it's 2 separate sets of people. So you could very well get the same responses for each. But we did. 45% said the JLP had the country's best interest at heart. 40% said they are better able to manage the country's economic situation. 35% said it's a party that I support traditionally. So I'm going to just vote for them because I always do so. 26% said it provided more jobs and employment. So we have the situation where the macro picture is indicating that the unemployment level is at its lowest. All right. 22% say they're more organized party. And 17% say they have young people with good vision and initiative. So these are the primary reasons. There are others, but these are the most important factors that were identified as the reasons people would support the Jamaica Labour Party.
So, Sir Anderson, the top reasons still essentially remain economic.
Best interest at heart and better able to manage the country's economic situation. Over 40% in either case.
Well. So, you're going back out in the field in 2 months?
I haven't been commissioned yet. But I'm pretty sure that, they're the interested parties either way who would want to know what the current situation is at that point in time. But there are no immediate plans to go back out into the field.
Yes. Does the JLP ask you to do polls, Don? I noticed the PNP does a lot of asking. Does the JLP ask you?
Let me just make the point. In the 20s, we have done polls for the Jamaica Labour Party in specific constituencies quite recently as well. But we haven't done any nationals for them since 2016. And I must make the point that in 2016 election, we did an equal number of political polls for both parties. But that's the last time we've actually done a fair amount of work for the Jamaica Labour Party. It just so happens that the People's National Party comes to me, and I really don't care. You know, bottom line is that we are a professional organization, and we get data and we report that we get it.
Okay. And your sample size, 1,057, drawn from how many communities across the island?
Probably about 74 communities. I don't have the data in front of me, but, you know, it's a pretty widespread sample because we have to ensure that we capture the full breadth and length of the island, and we go into a significant number of electoral districts. Yep.
I saw a comment today, and I'm going to ask you this way.
Sure.
There are some areas that their political voting behavior is well established. You know, do you go into those so-called, let me use for a pejorative term that I'd rather not, but it captures the point, the garrisons, so the JLP garrison of Tivoli or the PNP garrison of Jungle. You go into those?
Of course. So not that we do that on a national level, but there are lots of constituency polls in which we go into Central Kingston, West Kingston, etc. Even there, you know, there's a need for information. Information is the guide decision making, you know.
Yes.
And you really wouldn't want to make, take we know the situation and don't do, because you need to have information to guide your decision making. And so, yeah, obviously.
Right. Well, when you go into those areas, you have to pay a lot of attention to the sample size of how many you would poll in a Tivoli or a Jungle.
The weighting, so to speak.
Yeah. How do you...
Let me not go too much into detail on that, because there's a special approach we take to deal with garrison communities that we have developed. But we stay within the boundaries of acceptable statistical derivatives to be able to get from these communities the kind of information or the kind of responses that we want in terms of response rates. All right, that's basically not the type of response, but the response rate. All right, but that's in a way a strategy that we have developed that we would be prepared to discuss at a different time.
A response rate, meaning how many people actually complete the survey?
Yeah, that's response rate.
Oh, okay.
But we don't process any survey that's not complete.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Don Anderson, CEO of Market Research Services Limited. Thank you, Don. All right, after the break, yes, that time of the week, it's all about nature's remedies.
Do you have a consumer-related issue? Want to learn more about matters concerning you as a consumer? Well, keep it locked to Nationwide 90 FM for the Consumer Hour with me, Moringa Banton, weekdays from 9 to 10 a.m. For all your consumer-centric matters, stay tuned to the Consumer Hour on Nationwide 90 FM, a revolution in media.
As we grow older, there are many challenges that we have to confront, but these years can represent the best in our lives. Coming of Age during Nationwide This Morning on Thursdays explores issues persons 50 and over confront. It also provides expert opinions on how we can improve the quality of our lives as we get older. That's Coming of Age, this and every Thursday during Nationwide This Morning at 6:51 a.m.
On a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30.
Well, that was in the beginning, when love was new and the relationship was filled with fun, frolic and fireworks. Everything went long, the posturepedic journey was flaming hot, and the coffee was always steaming. Gym was pumping iron, ladies went to a gym, and home was a place to be instead of the neighborhood. But what about loving in the long term? How much does it matter if the length of love is lasting? Is it really just an overrated part of a relationship if a partner doesn't perform to perfection? Join me, Rodney Campbell, every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. This Tuesday's topic, giving top-tier service in long-term relationships, an obligation to perform or just satisfied with the norm?
Brought to you by Supermed Pharmacy. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
Good God have mercy, hey. Good God have grace, hey. Lord have mercy, hey. Spirulina below. up my confidence. Rastafari run the continent. This King Selassie, you pay the consequence. Don't get it confused.
Welcome, good evening. You are back for Nature's Remedies. This is a program to educate you about the use of natural herbs. Tonight we'll be talking about the Moringa, nature's multi-nutrient plant. As usual, we'll be opening the lines later so you can call in with any questions you might have for our resident pharmacognosist, Dr. Denise Daly. Good evening again, Dr. Daly. How are you?
Good evening, and good evening, listeners. I'm doing well. How are you?
Quite well. So
Good,
we're talking about the Moringa plant today. I know we've discussed it a few times before, but give us the details. What is the Moringa plant?
Yes, the Moringa tree, we have mentioned it almost every week because of its versatility and its role as a multi-nutrient plant. So we wanted to delve into 5 specific areas about the Moringa tree and the different parts of the tree, how it is used, some of the research that's proven its effect, and is it a lucrative market? Should we be looking to go into the Moringa industry? Because we have the plants available and the industry is booming. Mm-hmm. So let's get into the Moringa. Do you know the Moringa tree?
I've seen it around a few times. This is one that I actually recognize and knew the name for ahead of this program.
Okay, good. All right, so the Moringa tree, its scientific name, Moringa oleifera. However, there are over 13 species of the Moringa plants. Now, it's a single family, so they're all Moringa genus plants. But the most common is the oleifera. That's the one that we have in Jamaica. And the difference between them, if you look at the trunks, it's basically the size of the trunks and the size of the pots between those plants. But let's look at our main one, oleifera. Now, other names for the Moringa tree, you'll hear the miracle tree. You'll hear horseradish tree, or you'll hear drumstick tree. And all these names are due to the characteristic of the plant. Miracle tree, because it has been shown traditionally to be used for so many different ailments and having beneficial effects. It has been proven by research as well for some of those traditional uses. One of those is for diabetes. Now, we have over 420 million persons fighting or being affected with diabetes. And the Moringa tree, the Moringa plant, that's one of the biggest markets globally where supplements are being sold of Moringa to help with controlling the blood sugar level. And part of that is due to the chlorogenic acid that's in the Moringa tree. It not only helps to control the blood sugar level, it also helps with weight loss. There is also quercetin, another antioxidant compound that helps to, again, control the blood sugar level. So there's so many significant antioxidants or phytochemicals that have been isolated from the Moringa plant and other plants that have shown beneficial or medicinal effect. So let's look at the market a little bit. We have a lot of Moringa in Jamaica, and in India, Bangladesh, and in other areas within the Asian market, the Moringa plant has been a part of their food restoration or fighting poverty program. It's a part of a lot of the school feeding program, and they have found it to be very versatile. So how do they do it? They've added it to a lot of the cereals and porridges, to stews, to soups, and measured the impact it has had on malnutrition children. It has provided the nutrients it needs to rebuild the body and to get them functioning even better and learning again. So it has been a significant part in that part of the world. It's called the World Hunger Project. So Moringa has been a part of that project, the World Hunger Project, and has shown significant results in helping to alleviate malnutrition and providing nutrients for children.
So go ahead, Doc. I have several questions I want to ask you.
Yes. All right, just one more. So it's considered a very good supplement, and that's why it's added to so many different dishes. And just to mention, I know we've said it so many times, it's all over social media. Moringa is has 10 times more vitamin A than carrots. 7 times more vitamin C than oranges, 17 times more calcium than milk. There's so many. Now, instead of trying to remember each number, just try to remember that moringa is a multi-nutrient plant. All your essential amino acid, it's actually missing just one, tryptophan. It has all your essential vitamins and minerals within the leaves and the seed.
And what's the best way to ingest, to take moringa, to get those nutritional values?
Right. So you can have the fresh leaves, the dried leaves, or the pods. You can have the pods fresh, or you can have the pods, the seeds themselves. Now, in this research paper...
Hold on, Doc. When you said the leaves, you mean you just pick the leaf and eat it?
Just pick the leaves and eat it. So if you pick the leaves, you can chew it up and just eat it. It doesn't have a bitter or bad taste. It's kind of just similar. It tastes like grass.
Like
right?
grass?
Yeah, it just tastes like leaf.
Oh.
It's not too bitter.
And it tastes like callaloo or cabbage.
When you steam it, it tastes like callaloo. So when you steam it has that callaloo, that greens taste when you steam it. But so you can add it to your callaloo. It looks like callaloo when it's steamed.
But when you steam it, don't you lose the nutritional values? It's not as potent, is it?
It is. You lose some of your heat-sensitive vitamins, which like your vitamin C and so on, and some of your Bs. However, you can get those nutrients, those vitamins back from your orange juice or some other fruit. So all the other nutrients and phytochemicals you're getting from it, you can do a little steaming. You just want to brighten the color a bit, as per usual when you're steaming your vegetables. Just brighten it a bit, still having that a little crunch in it when you're having it. And you'll retain a few, but you have other sources you can rely on for those vitamins.
And the seeds now, you do what with the seeds?
The seeds, you can have them green. So you can create a stew with the green seeds. You can cook them similar to how you do okra. So you get the long green pods, you can cut them similar to your okra sizes, and you just boil them in some salt water, or you can spice it up if you want, a little pimento, some garlic. And then you could have those like okra. Or in other cultures in India, they cut them small, how we'd slice our okra in small circles.
Yes.
And have it with the leaves as a nice callaloo stew. They add some turmeric to it as well and make it into a nice curry stew and some beans. So it has been used in a variety of ways.
So you can do it with your steamed fish?
You can do it with your steamed fish as well. Get all that medicinal power in a meal. Yes. In terms of the dried seeds, now when you have the seeds dried, you can have the seed as your multi-nutrient. I have a video on Instagram. It shows how you can have your moringa seed. 1 to 2 seeds per day with some water. You get all those medicinal power, the medicinal chemicals, plus your vitamins and minerals. However, I do say start with 1 to 2 seeds per day, because the moringa seed can also act as a laxative. So if you're going to 3 seeds and you realize it gives you a washout, so what's the effect do you want? Is it just a vitamin for the day, or you want a laxative effect? If you're constipated, you can take your 3 seeds and you should be able to go, right? Some persons may need 4 seeds. And these are some of the ways you can help to go if you're constipated, or you just need a washout to go back to school, etc. As a regular vitamin, some persons will add 2 to 3 seeds to their smoothie, and it's not a laxative. So again, start with 1 seed and let it stay between 2 to 3 per taking per day, and that can help with controlling diabetes, cholesterol. It gives a fiber source as well, and also provides the vitamins and minerals.
Cholesterol as well.
Cholesterol as well.
So, Doc, why don't we utilize these things regular in dishes here in Jamaica? Because I'm looking at quite a spread of various ways you can produce. Well, you can use it in terms of dishes. You can stir fry it. You can cook it with chicken, yam, all sorts of things. I'm surprised that I don't see this utilized here in Jamaica in such a way.
It is not, and that is again where the market is going and what the market is saying. So at this current pace, the Moringa market is looking to grow to about 19.8 billion by 2030. That's 6 years. But one of the challenge they're finding is with the market is knowledge. A lot of persons are still not aware of the medicinal power of the Moringa. And most of the market is within the US. 3.3 million alone were sold in the US alone as a single market. So that's just a small number of people who know about Moringa and its value. That's the Moringa powder. That's the Moringa supplement. And then, culturally, a lot of persons will do the stir frying with the beans and the leaves. It is a market we can and we should be going into. If you have some land, plant some Moringa. The forestry department sell the seedlings. We should be planting Moringa and making supplements or just creating those dishes, enhancing your dishes to make it not only a natural multi-nutrient, but medicinal power as well.
Yeah. How long does it take to mature?
It grows very quickly in the driest of soil. So a small plant, if you have a seedling, within 1 to 2 years, you can have enough to start taking every day for yourself.
That's quick.
That is quick. It is a plant that grows quickly. And that's why it's a part of the World Hunger Program. If you look across a field that's just dirt and there's no other plant or grass and you see one tree, go closer, it might just be a Moringa tree. That's how resilient it is in desert soils.
Okay. So it's mainly consumed or used in Asia or Africa?
Both.
Oh.
Yes. Asia and Africa, they use it significantly as a part of their cultural dishes, as a part of feeding programs, and the market itself. India has the highest production of Moringa products. And US and the UK or the European markets are the next market consuming most of those products. So there's room where we can tap into that market. Not only the cannabis industry, but we can have a lucrative Moringa industry in Jamaica.
I mean, it's also possible we could just, even if it's not for exportation, there's no reason why we couldn't have this here for local consumption on a larger scale. Because I've never even heard of a Moringa dish before today.
There you go. And if you can imagine just having it with some saltfish, sauteed Moringa beans with some saltfish or some lentil beans, something. Or add it to your stew, your bean stew. It is a versatile dish and you get more than just a good taste from your meal.
Okay. All right. We're up on our first break, Dr. Daly. Stay with us, and we have more time with Dr. Daly. Time for you to give us a call for Dr. Daly, 63093-7124. That's 876-63093-7124 or 876-618-8255. You can also tweet us or WhatsApp us, right? Or you can go online on YouTube. We're streaming on Nationwide 90 FM Live.
Mix the vegetable with the fruits. Give me a bottle of spirulina and make me mix up the roots with Medina.
Good health starts with proper hydration. Hydrate your body with Hydrate. Hydrate is purified natural water from rocks 110 feet below the ground. You have never tasted water so great, yet so affordable. Yes, taste and experience it for yourself. Water at its best. Hydrate. Available also as purified alkaline water and ultra-purified distilled water. Bottled by LLNSCS Limited, a subsidiary of Max Pharmaceuticals. Call 876-983-6466.
When I grow up, I'm going to be a famous gamer with viral videos all over the internet. I'm going to be rich. Good thing I'll already know how to take care of my money since Mommy got me this Sure Start account.
Open a CIBC Caribbean Sure Start account for your kids and give them a head start on financial smarts with a $1,200 sign-up bonus from us. We believe in their dreams as much as you do, so let's get them going together. Start young, start strong with Sure Start from CIBC.
Hi there. Here's some good news for these trying times. Quote,
By God's word, I can see where I'm going. They throw a beam of light on my dark path. Unquote. Psalm 119, verse 105. Listen for God's Word weekdays at 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. through
Oasis. Stop by for a refreshing drink and share a God perspective for the day.
Oasis. Weekdays 5:45 a.m. and 12:55 p.m. right here on Nationwide, a revolution in media.
The rebroadcast of the Oasis can be heard weekdays at 5:45 a.m.
The Oasis is brought to you by Solar Tech Jamaica. We use the gift of the sun to power our world.
Dr. Daly is a former program director for the College of Health Sciences at the University of Technology and currently serves as a part-time lecturer. She does seminars on corporate wellness and team building strategies and health and wellness in the workplace. She also offers lifestyle and wellness coaching and offers personalized wellness packages. Dr. Daly is also the co-owner and founder of Nasare R&M Company Limited. All natural skincare products are available for customers. They also do private labeling and customized skincare packages. She can be contacted by email at drdenisedaily@gmail.com for bookings and consultations. She can also be found on Instagram and Facebook at Dr. Denise Daly.
Good God of mercy, hey. Good God of grace, hey. Lord of mercy, hey. Spirulina build up my confidence. Rastafari run the continent.
Welcome back to Nature's Remedies, the program where we educate you about the uses of natural herbs. We have with us pharmacognosist Dr. Denise Daly. We also have on the line a caller, Maudlin. Good evening, Maudlin. You're on the line for Dr. Daly.
Hello.
Good evening, Maudlin. We can hear you.
Yes. I'm asking. Good evening, Mr. Hughes.
Good evening, Maudlin.
Yes. I'm suffering with there's something the name again in my foot. Poor circulation. What can I use?
Poor circulation in the feet.
Yes.
You have diabetes?
No.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
When last you go to the doctor and check?
I go to the doctor about last month.
Okay, you're sure you didn't tell you don't have diabetes?
No, my pressure all right.
Your pressure all right?
Your pressure all right. Yes.
Okay, good.
I'm beginning them swell up heavy.
I was just going to ask.
Turmeric with ginger.
Mm-hmm. So you're drinking that?
Yes.
How often you drink it?
Sometimes I drink it in the morning and in the evening.
Okay. And you add a little black pepper to it?
No.
All right. So that's one thing you can do. Add a little black pepper. And that's how you pull out the medicine from the turmeric. All right?
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Moringa will also help to normalize the blood circulation as well. So have some moringa tea, or you can add it, make a stew with it as well.
Okay.
Soursop leaf. And when do you find it aggravates more? Is it when you're walking too much, you're standing, or just overall it just gets swollen?
It just normally there.
Okay. All right. So try to have continue with the turmeric ginger. Just add a little dash of black pepper into it. It helps to pull out the anti-inflammatory properties and the pain properties. So you won't feel so much pain as much. And also it will help with any issues with the blood.
Okay,
in terms
thank you
of,
very much.
You're welcome. Soursop leaf is a good tea to have as well.
Like in
And
the night, when you're going to my bed.
It's good as a bedtime tea because it also helps you to sleep and to relax.
Okay.
So,
You know the moringa plant, Maudlin? Maudlin?
No, Mr. Hughes.
You don't
no,
know it?
Mr. Hughes. No.
Oh, see they know? You have to know it.
Yes, try to make moringa part of your dishes as well. So it will give you some nutrients. If you're missing any little trace nutrients that sometimes we don't realize, the moringa leaf and tree, the bark, whichever one, can also help to just replace those and help. And try to get foot massage. Put your foot in some bath of water with some Epsom salt and just rub it with some oil when you take it out.
Like what kind high? Like olive oil can use?
Olive oil or your coconut oil. And if you soak it with some moringa leaf and massage, use the oil to massage your foot after the warm bath, then it should help the circulation as well.
Okay.
So Maudlin asked me answer to, oh, you don't know the moringa?
No, Mr. Hughes.
Oh, so let me ask you, you have an older relative in the community, they may know it to show you?
Yes, Mr. Hughes, I go ask them tomorrow.
Yes. You have one smartphone? You have one phone?
Yes, Mr. Hughes, yes.
Well, you can Google it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Google it and see how it look.
Yes, Mr. Hughes.
All right?
Yeah.
And me get in here, Mr. Hughes, but me lose me Irish.
Yeah.
Yes.
You lose your what?
Me Irish, you did make me get from parts, and me lose it, but me still a hold on from the Lord. The Lord will provide.
Oh, where are you? Where in Jamaica are you, Maudlin?
Banana ground, Mr. Hughes, me tell you all the while. Banana ground.
Banana ground in
Manchester.
Manchester.
Yes, Manchester.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Yes.
You Google the moringa, make use of it.
Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Hughes.
All right.
And
All right.
Okay.
Program.
Good.
All right. Thank you.
Dr. Daly, somebody on YouTube is asking me to ask you if the bark of the moringa is good to purify water.
It is, and the seeds as well.
Oh.
So it is good to purify water, adding the bark or the seed.
Okay. All right. Who is next? David, good evening.
Good evening, Cliff.
Yes.
I am just making a contribution to this moringa thing here. I was introduced to the moringa plant about 5 years ago, and I started using it, and I find out that within the last 3 years or so, it was not necessary for me to go to my private practitioner to check on my blood work, because each year I do my medical. I have to check on all those parameters, and if there is anything out of whack, like your sugar or your cholesterol, that kind of thing, you'll have to go to your private practitioner and work out a thing with him or her and take it back to my workplace. I never had to go in the last, say, 3 years or so. When I use the moringa, what I do is really I make my own moringa powder. I use the leaves, and I just wash them off and then allow the water to drip from that. Can't dry it in the sun. If you do that, it loses some of its potency, and it comes out brown. The powder comes out brown. So I take it inside and allow it to dry inside. And then I pulverize that in my bullet, NutriBullet, and I have my powder. And the doctor is right. Everywhere I went, I spot a moringa tree, I would stop there and cut some of that off and take it home. And one day I decided to plant my own. Just got a stick from it and stick it in the ground, plant it, and in less than 2 years, I now have my own moringa plant in my yard, and I take it from that, make my powder, and I also take the seeds, like 2 in the morning, and I take 2 in the evening, and it worked for me.
There you go. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah. Happy to hear. And yes, it is that easy to grow. Just a branch or a couple seeds, and you can have your own plant. And if you don't want to go through, you can get it from our local forestry departments, or RADA, or DEMBI. Any one of our agricultural sector that have the plants available.
Okay.
Or your neighbor that have a moringa tree.
that's where I got the stick that I planted from my neighbor. And now I don't have to walk and cut it anywhere. I just take my off my tree. And the more you prune that tree, the more it springs. And you get the fresh leaves to do your thing. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's indeed resilient.
It is.
Yes, and it works.
Yes.
It works for me. Yeah. Put it in my smoothie, in my oats while I'm doing my thing. I just put it in there and and use it, and it works.
Okay. All right, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
Good.
One thing that we find with the moringa, the powder, when you compare 100 grams of the powder, the dried powder versus the fresh leaves, you get a lot more protein, a lot more of your vitamins and your minerals. And again, it has to do with the weight. So you're not just getting the small amount in the fresh plant. When you remove that water, you get more from 1 tablespoon or just 100 grams.
Oh, good. All right, hold the line for us, Dr. Daly. We're going to go to our next break and come back with more of your calls for Dr. Daly.
So me go a up road and go link fever. What good for your nerves? So what's up and sapata? Coconut water fi wash off your heart. Hey, nobody could have said Rasta soft. Me go link fever fast and never fever grass. Hey, spirulina we blending, so you know I'll be spending every dollar.
Watch for Shelley Fraser Price. I stay locked to the Olympics because, of course, I'm Jamaican. What you mean?
Me, I have to tune into the Olympics, man. Because I'm always busy, but what? I have to know when Sherika Jackson beat Shakari.
Brother, I have to have every notification for the Olympics. I want to hear every run.
Now Sherika Jackson coming
every jump.
Oh, that is absolutely huge of Wade Pinkham.
Every fling, live.
So, take us then.
Nothing can miss me.
We're always on the move.
So while we're driving, run, Elaine, run.
Jogging. Yes. Run, Watson. Win again.
Watson is now a world champion.
Or even at work.
Quick, the race has started.
We can't miss a beat because we keep it locked
to the only station
for the Paris Olympics.
Nationwide.
90
FM.
Nationwide 90.1, 90.3, 90.5, 90.7 and 90.9, and on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live. Nationwide, the new revolution in media.
I'm Dennis Brooks.
I'm Alan Campbell.
I'm Floyd Green.
And I'm Garth Williams. Catch us on the Jamaican Dads podcast right here on Nationwide 90 FM, Thursdays at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m.
The Jamaican Dads podcast is all about providing men with a healthy, safe, and functional forum to tackle many of the taboo topics that concern our masculinity.
Like everyone else out there, we're dads of varying amounts of experience who come from different backgrounds and often view the world differently.
We're definitely not perfect, but we are all brethren and we're all committed to this piece of rock called Jamaica.
Too often, there are no safe spaces for men to explore the issues which are important to us.
Plus, most of the content out there about parenthood is produced by women, for women. So we think it is important that we be the change we want to see.
Follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jamaican Dads with a Z.
And definitely join us here on Nationwide 90 FM every Thursday at 8 p.m. with a repeat on Sundays at 6 p.m. for the Jamaican Dads podcast. It's a revolution in media.
If you not get it, you will lose. Make your food be your medicine, your food. Blend up your carrot with the lettuce in a juice. No afraid fi mix the vegetable with the fruits. Lord, give me a bottle of spirulina and make me mix up the roots with Medina. Come off a tour and mini.
Welcome back to Nature's Remedy. Welcome back to Nature's Remedies, where we're answering your questions regarding the herbs, the natural herbs and remedies to assist you throughout your daily health needs. We have our pharmacognosist, Dr. Denise Daly, answering your questions. And we have, who on the line again? Colin, you're on the line. Good evening.
Good evening, gentlemen. I hope you're well.
Yes, we
Doing
are.
quite well.
And Dr. Daly, quick question, Cliff and Doc. I find that traditional doctors are normally a little skeptical about what they call home remedies. Now, as a diabetic doc, I take insulin and metformin. Would it be a problem if I also take some, of this miracle plant as well?
Okay. All right. So the issue that oftentimes our modern healthcare system will have is that persons without knowledge often abuse the herbs or cause some contraindication. So if you have your medication and you take the herb with the medication, it can damage the liver, it can cause harm. So to avoid all of that, they'd often say, don't take it, just work with the pharmaceutical. What is advised, if you are similar to your food, you want to ensure that your medicine, your pharmaceutical, your medication, and your herbal teas or supplements are not in the stomach at the same time. All right. Now, moringa and your peppermint is one of those herbs or one of those plants that's similar to callaloo, and your cabbage you can eat and you can have as food. So that's one that can help to manage and control your blood sugar level. In fact, there was a research done in about 2019. They call it a random clinical trial. That's where they help people test the food or test the herb. So with the patients, and they were about 50 years old. They gave them 20 grams of moringa and they put it in a rice and meat meal. And after the 6 weeks, they found that those who were healthy, the moringa supplement or the moringa meal did not lower their blood sugar level. It just stayed normal. And that's one of the benefits of your herbal medicine and for the moringa. Now, those who were diabetic, they saw a significant drop or significant difference in the blood sugar level for the type 2 persons who were under study. So there has been a lot of research showing the benefits of moringa and its use. But again, you can have it as part of your meals, but try to ensure that you keep your herbs, whether it's your turmeric can also help to manage it, your diabetes, or any of your other herbs. You try to ensure that you have the teas and your medication at separate times, at least 1 to 2 hours apart.
Oh, I see. What about those tea bags they sell, the moringa tea bags? Are those effective?
Yes, those are similar to your peppermint. There's no contraindications for your moringa, and it's safe to have from babies right up, the research has shown.
Okay.
You're stewing callaloo.
Yes, yes. All right, thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
William, good evening.
Good evening, Cliff and Siobhan. Good evening, Doc.
Good evening.
Good evening, William.
Yeah, I am thinking, Doc, could I make some green juice out of the meringue, and what would good to put with the meringue to make a good green juice?
Yeah, man, moringa green juice, that would be good. You can blend it up and just get some ginger, your lime, and just make it into a green juice. You can add callaloo, cucumber. Yeah, I'm thinking of some of the other greens that we have readily available. So what you can create a nice green juice with your moringa leaf, your callaloo, your cucumber, add a little ginger to it.
What about the noni leaf?
Noni leaf, yes, it's also medicinal. The fruit too is also medicinal. So I don't know when you put it together how it tastes, but it will be medicinal part.
Yeah, because, I just sit and think, and I said I could make some green juice out of it, because I have a meringue tea just down my walkway here.
All right, there you go.
Right.
I know with the cucumber and the callaloo, it tastes really good with the moringa as a juice.
All right, well, we'll do that one then. Nah, really go with we just do the noni separate, but we just put those what you said together and see how it tastes.
Yes, and make a nice drink, green juice.
Okay then, thanks very much, Doc.
You're welcome.
Doc, we have a question from online from a W.S. Smith. You spoke about a number of varieties of the moringa plant. Which variety is best for consumption, and where are the plants available?
Right. So the different species are mostly found in the Asian areas. However, in the Caribbean, Latin America, we have mostly the oleifera. That's the plant we know, the slender trunk moringa plant. It's the most versatile. Most of your products within the global market is this species. Most of the research have validated this species. The others are in lesser quantities and mostly in your Asian countries, India, Bangladesh, Northeast Africa, Madagascar, etc., Namibia, and so on.
Mm-hmm. Here's another one on YouTube from Petrona Smith. I have a friend. She tried to have a child, but it couldn't work. Someone told her to take the merengue, and she got pregnant at 39. Her daughter is now 8 years old.
Oh, that is so nice. I'm happy for her. Thanks for sharing. And I love that because it is good for infertility, both for the men and for women. And why is that so? Because
thank you.
Because of its phytonutrients. It has the minerals and the vitamins you need. Oftentimes, infertility can be because we're lacking a small nutrient or part of our cells is being blocked, so our cells is not taking up a particular hormone. And just having these consistent practices, having moringa tea or having some stew or the smoothie, it clears our cells and provides the nutrients that we can become fertile. So consistency is key if we want to have results.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Auriel Dussard says, please let these people know that if you take too much, it will affect you because it happened to me. Yeah? Mm-hmm. So
yes.
You're always making that point, Doc.
Yes, temperance is important. If you drink too much carrot juice, I always remember Magic School Bus. If you drink too much carrot juice, eventually your skin start looking orange. If you drink too much beetroot, eventually your urine start looking red, etc. So we have to ensure that moderation is key. Mm-hmm. A few tea bags, a few seeds, and don't overindulge.
Yes. Yeah. And there's now a debate on YouTube. Is it moringa or merengue?
It's moringa, but in Jamaica we call it merengue or maranga.
Mm.
So,
okay.
Patois versus the English name.
Yes.
We have a caller, Doc. Carmelita, you're on the line.
Good night, NNN.
Good night.
Good evening.
And my morning show, the big show. Doc, I'm from Jamaica, but I'm living in St. Martin. Yes. And I know that the merengue is not good for people who is well nourishing. And we Jamaican is full nourishing, so we cannot take it as often as other country. Good night, everyone. Thanks.
How you mean? Hold on. What did she say?
The merengue is for most people who are malnourished.
Oh, who are malnourished.
Yes. And if we take it often, it's not good for us.
Doc, is that so?
Not necessarily so, because moringa gives you vitamin and nutrients, and that's why it's part of the World Hunger Program. It does improve the health status of somebody's malnutrition. It provides the proteins, your essential fats, your vitamins and minerals. Now, as a normal, healthy person that has all sources of your vitamins and minerals, similar to drinking a drink, if you have a lot of vitamin C, your body will get rid of it. So it would not use it. If you need some iron and you have the moringa, your body uses what it needs, it gets rid of the rest. It's similar to taking a dietary supplement. If you're taking in excess, your body discards what it doesn't need and use what it has. And that's what this research was showing us with the healthy persons under study and the diabetic persons. It did not impair their blood glucose level. It was still normal and they were still functioning at capacity, while those who had impaired insulin within the blood, those were enhanced. And that's how a lot of nature's remedies work.
Okay.
Thanks very much, because sometimes I don't take it. I know about it for years. in St. Martin. Okay, good night, everybody.
Oh, you're still in St. Martin or you're back home now?
I'm living in St. Martin for 30 odd years now.
Oh, so you're calling us from St. Martin?
Yes. And I'm sorry that I didn't get the big show. It was not on the big show.
You know something? Come on for the radio.
Listen, I listen to one every day.
Yeah.
And I have all the jokes.
Uh-huh. Oh.
All right, good night. Have a blessed week now.
How do you listen to us from St. Martin? Hold on, man. How you listen to us from St. Martin?
I have the app.
Okay, good.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
I have the app. Yeah, but because I'm young, I didn't say old. I don't know how to do it on WhatsApp, so I have to call straight.
Good.
That's why I don't call often. But I never get through. It's the first I ever get through.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
And you got through on the biggest show.
Pardon me?
You got through on the biggest show.
No, sir. No, sir. My turn.
Have a good night. Have a good night.
I always comment on morning show. I think
Have a good night.
I ever comment on your show.
Yes. Go about your business. Charmaine, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Hughes. Good
evening.
Doc.
Good evening, Charmaine.
Good evening, Shaban.
Evening, Charmaine.
Doc, can you take the moringa green and also dry?
Yes, you can just pick the leaves and have it, or make a stew, and you can have the powder. You can dry it and have the powder, you just crush it out and add it to your salads or whatever meal you're having. Just crush some of the dry leaves and add to it.
Oh, crush out the dry leaf.
Yes.
Okay.
Crush it and add to your meal, or you can powder
it. I it in my green juice and
Yes.
use it in my vegetables.
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right. Thanks. I just want to know if I can use it green and also dry.
You have the tree, Charmaine?
No, my daughter had a tree at her home in Kitchen Town.
Oh.
Yes. So when she come in here, me tell her to bring for me.
Okay.
Yes.
I hear it grow fast enough, so I asked her to carry one of the branches so it can grow in
Plant.
other place.
I don't have the space, that's it.
Oh.
Put
it in a pot.
But she always take it for me, you know.
Yes.
And it's very good to chew. Yeah, I love it in tea. It tastes nice.
Okay.
Yes. I use it in my juice, my green juice and all of that. Yeah.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
Charmaine.
Thanks. Good night.
Good evening.
Good
night.
All right, we're up on our final break, Dr. Daly. We'll be back.
In a me teacup, me live like a king, like niggas Negos. Caesar drink rum till him body seize up. But me go link Viva, him say him got it right here. One buckle of spirulina and a cut a ripe beer. Me no like weakness, that a me worst nightmare. And no give me anything, no give me red stripe beer. Just see me a buckle of spirulina and make me mix up the
On a 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 30.
Well, that was in the beginning, when love was new and the relationship was filled with fun, frolic and fireworks. Everything went long, the posturepedic journey was flaming hot, and the coffee was always steaming. Gym was pumping iron, ladies went to a gym, and home was a place to be instead of the neighborhood. But what about loving in the long term? How much does it matter if the length of love is lasting? Is it really just an overrated part of a relationship if a partner doesn't perform to perfection? Join me, Rodney Campbell, every Tuesday from 9 to 10:30 p.m. for Affairs of the Heart, right here on Nationwide 90 FM. This Tuesday's topic, giving top-tier service in long-term relationships, an obligation to perform or just satisfied with the norm?
Brought to you by Supermed Pharmacy. Super happy, super healthy, Supermed.
Dr. Daly is a former program director for the College of Health Sciences at the University of Technology and currently serves as a part-time lecturer. She does seminars on corporate wellness and team-building strategies and health and wellness in the workplace. She also offers lifestyle and wellness coaching and offers personalized wellness packages. Dr. Daly is also the co-owner and founder of Nasare R&M Company Limited. All natural skincare products are available for customers. They also do private labeling and customized skincare packages. She can be contacted by email at drdenisedaily@gmail.com for bookings and consultations. She can also be found on Instagram and Facebook at Dr. Denise Daly.
Good God have mercy, hey. Good God have grace, hey. Lord have mercy, hey.
Welcome back to Nature's Remedies. We're on the home stretch, still taking your calls. And Richard, you're on the line.
Buenos noches.
Good evening.
My question, Doc. The lady asked allude to what I was going to ask, but when you take Moringa, which one do you get a better benefits from, the dry or the green? Are they the same?
For Moringa, if you have 1 tablespoon of the fresh versus 1 tablespoon of the dried powder, you get more nutrients and medicinal power from it because you get rid of some of the water. So you'll get more of your amino acid, your essential fats, etc. from your dried powder.
What about the seed?
The seed is the same. In fact, for vitamin C and for magnesium and copper, those minerals and vitamins, you get more from the seed. And that's one of the reasons why the vitamin diabetics, the seed is even more effective than the leaf, because some of those trace elements have more in the seeds.
Claro. Gracias. Buenos noches.
De nada.
I have one from you from online, Dr. Daly, from Alex Smith. What is the best herb to help with chronic or semi-chronic arthritis?
For arthritis, inflammation weed, which is dog blood, Ravinia. Just have the leaves as a tea, and good old turmeric ginger with a dash of black pepper. And not only that, you can also boil your turmeric with coconut milk and make a nice rundown with your pimento. And these, being consistent with these herbs and these spices, do help to promote, reduce inflammation and help to reduce pain.
Timothy is online for Dr. Daly. Good evening, Timothy.
Good evening, Cliff. Hello, Doc.
Hi, good evening,
I won't
Timothy.
try the Spanish on you this evening. I'm still.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a few quick questions. Moringa tea that you buy in the supermarket, the tea bag, is that as effective as the actual moringa, fresh moringa, which I have?
You say you have what?
Sorry, if you use a moringa tea bag that you buy in the supermarket, is it as effective as the moringa, the fresh moringa? And I have used fresh moringa.
You're saying which is more effective?
I really want to know whether buying the tea bags in the supermarket is as good as having the fresh thing.
Yes, it is. And if you have the plant, you wouldn't need to buy. You can make your own. Just pick some leaves, dry it, and you can store it. The fresh is just as good. If you want to take your moringa as a vitamin C source, you get a lot from your fresh leaves. If you want it for its calcium, you also get a significant amount. Now, the powder, you get more from the same quantity. If you have 1 handful of dry and 1 handful of fresh, the dry give you more nutrients and more medicinal compounds. So that's the only difference.
Okay, I just wanted to know really whether, having moringa very conveniently in a tea bag is as good as, having the fresh version.
Yes, it is. It's just as good.
Okay, great. Other follow-up question to that. Moringa can be bought as a supplement in, a tablet form. How effective is that compared to the fresh version?
All right, so different providers for the supplements, I would say always look at the ingredient listing. So just turn the container, look what else is in the packaging. And you want to ensure that majority of what's inside is your moringa, whether it's the seed or the seed powder or the leaf powder. You want to ensure that it's their main ingredients. Same with your tea bag, often that's the case. And once it's a significant amount, like mostly moringa or only, then you can say it's a good source. So that's what you'd see as some of the differences between it. how are they making the supplement? Some will have only moringa and a little preservative. Some will have a shorter shelf life with no preservative. So just check your ingredient listing and the quantity. Are they saying to take 1 tablet or capsule or 2? And then this will give you a guide. Once you have 100 grams, you're getting a significant dose per day.
Okay. My question really boils down to, is it okay to get moringa in the supplement form that you buy in a bottle as opposed to the fresh form? That's really what I'm asking.
Yes. You can also, again, it's source. Where can you get it? Whichever form is good to consume as long as you know what is in the product that you're buying. So check the ingredients list, and if it's moringa alone, then it's a good source. Or moringa and a little preservative, then it's a good source.
Thank you. And my final quick one, is moringa tea a diuretic? I'm thinking of moringa tea at night, especially for people who might have a bladder problem. Is moringa diuretic? Moringa tea?
It has some diuretic effect. It helps to cause the urination because it does help to improve the function of the kidneys. So I would say you take it at least like an hour before bed if you're often getting up to urinate. So take it an hour before bed. Others, it will not significantly affect them. They can actually wait. But yes, it has some amount of diuretic effect because it does stimulate the functioning of the kidneys.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you for a very informative program. Bye now.
You're welcome, sir. And Doc, any final word on the merengue?
Yes. If you don't have a tree, go to your neighbor, pick a branch, plant a tree, get the seed, plant it, and try to incorporate into different meals and teas or smoothies. It's never too late to add moringa to your meals. Anti-cancer, diabetic, overall health. This can be your workout supplement, just having a few moringa seeds or the leaf. So definitely worth having and investing in.
Okay, thank you very much. Pharmacognosist Dr. Denise Daly with Nature's Remedies. See you next week, Tuesday, Dr. Daly.
Yes, thank you.
Good.
See you.
Thank you. Just before we go, an item of news. Several people, including students, were hospitalized following a traffic accident near the Little Theatre in Kingston this afternoon. The head of the Jamaica Constabulary Forces Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch is ACP Gary Mackenzie.
What we understand is that a coaster was exiting the compound of Little Theatre when a Toyota motor car was traveling along the roadway heading towards downtown. When it reached right to where the Toyota coaster was exiting, it is apparent that the coaster driver did not ensure that the way was completely clear, and as a result of that, a collision occurred. A number of persons from both vehicles were reportedly injured and were assisted to medical facilities. I understand that a few of them were students. The police have started their investigation.
That's Assistant Commissioner Gary Mackenzie, the head of PSTEB. So, again, the madness continues on the road, eh?
Be cautious on the road, people. But it seems in this incident, fortunately, no one has passed away.
Yes. I gather the students are from a school in Western Jamaica. Yes, from Westmoreland. Yeah. All right. That's how we're going to leave it for this evening. Thank you so much to all of our callers, Dr. Daly, of course, our YouTubers, our WhatsAppers, and our tweeps, our producer, Dana Davey, and our technical operator, Andrew Anderson. I'm Cliff Hughes.
And I'm Siobhan Campbell.
Reminding you, take care of your loved one and look out for your neighbor. Good night.
But is this real? Hey Greg, come look at this. Oh my, it's happening. Mr. Daniels, the numbers keep getting bigger and bigger.
Sir, the clicks are off the charts.
Hello, sales? What's the emergency?